Greeting wrestling fans and welcome to the Wrestle Talk Podcast. For the next 2 hours, we will bring you the latest pro wrestling news, in-depth analysis of all your favorite promotions from across the globe, and much, much more. We will also bring you exclusive interviews with the greatest professional wrestling personalities on the local, national, and international levels. If you want to follow the Wrestle Talk Podcast, check us out online at www.wrestletalkpodcast.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. And now, it's time for the reigning, defending, undisputed leader in pro wrestling podcast, the Wrestle Talk Podcast.
Hey everybody, this is the Wrestle Talk Podcast here. Jay Wade here. It looks like with the Night Owl. How you doing, my friend?
I am doing very, very well, my man Jay Wade. Sitting here in beautiful Kansas City, looking forward to episode 439 of the Wrestle Talk Podcast. Justin, I know that neither you nor I are mathematicians, but just multiply that by 2.25, and that'll give you just an estimate of how many hours of content we have under our belts here on the WTP. Man, I continue to be amazed by that. And what's more incredible is that the show just keeps getting better. The guests, the hosts, our transitions, the introduction, the presentation, dude, I could not be prouder of what we got going on here on the Wrestle Talk Podcast, bro.
I got page behind page of content to go over tonight that I took my lunch, because it's hard to catch up on this stuff, There's so much. This is what we're gonna have to talk about tonight. The content that's available right now. I feel like it's a little overabundance of content. Is that Spike from the Gremlins, by the way, up there?
It is. He just keeps losing his crown. That's my only issue. Every episode, I have to put the crown back up there. I had it like taped up last time, and then I was like, oh no, the tape looks tacky. I got to retape it, but hide the tape, like maybe clear tape. I don't know, but yeah, so I've got him, and I got your boy E.T. over here on the side. You heard me?
Hey, my boy is anybody from the Ghostbusters. That's my favorite movie of all time. Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, Ernie Hudson. Oh my God. If I could, I would work on trying to be a nuclear physicist so I could invent the proton pack. So
wait, favorite movie all time or favorite comedy all time?
All time.
Wow. Okay. Well, many would be surprised by this. We're going to talk about favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
Cheers. Dude, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part 1.
That's a dark. Yeah. You know what? But here's the thing. It's you and me can relate on this, okay? Real quick before we start in the many facets of
it's our show, but we can talk about whatever the hell we want to.
Okay, so my first, I didn't see the first Ghostbuster movie until 1989. I remember it. Okay, I knew the Ghostbuster cartoon. I saw the cartoon. All the guys had different colored flight suits on. Then I see the movie in '89. It was movie of the week on ABC because it was the weekend that they debuted Ghostbusters 2 in the theaters. So it was the world premiere for the first Ghostbusters on television back in 1989. When it took almost 4 years. You know how long? You remember how it took forever to get movies from the theaters out on television?
Yeah,
back in the
not like
day?
Anymore where you have it on streaming a month later.
Like
it's nuts. Yeah, dude. It's absolutely nuts.
You gotta think about my reaction as a 5-6-year-old kid seeing the movie for the first time, seeing these guys in tan jumpsuits. I'm like, this ain't Ghostbuster, So, but over time, just like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that was a dark movie. That first movie, compared to the cartoon.
That's why I liked it. I think that's why I liked it, because it had some intensity to it. You know what I mean? The villain felt kind of almost real. The Shredder seemed like a really gnarly dude. You know, that he killed the master, Splinter's master early on in the movie. So I was like, yo, this is, and then the kid, the star that nobody ever talks about in that movie, the kid that was like the reporter's son. I forgot what his name was.
I know who you're talking about. I forget too.
Sid on his shirt, you know what I mean? The redheaded kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he did a great job in that too, especially when he interfaced with Splinter, man. So Anyway, we could probably talk about this forever, bro. I think people are here for a wrestling show.
Oh, wrestling. You know what? I got pro wrestling stuff. I got independent shows coming up. I got that all prepared for us to talk about if we need to. I got questions for our guest tonight, Big Daddy Dion. I'm ready for us to have a good show. We got a lot. Oh, my God. We have so much stuff to talk about. It's only been 7 days since our last show. There's so much wrestling content out there right now, and that's why we're here.
Well, I'll tell you what, you were showing off your little handy dandy notebook. I got my own page full of stuff, bro. And reality tells me that there's probably going to be a little bit more than 2 hours of content here tonight, but we will do our best.
Hey, that's fine.
To fit it all in, baby, to fit it all in right here on the Wrestle Talk Podcast. Like I said, episode 439. We hadn't said this yet, but que pasa to all the loyal members of the Wrestle Talk family, everybody in the comment section showing up, representing, whether you're watching us on the Facebook live stream, on Twitter, or on our YouTube page, we very, very, very much appreciate you. If you could, and if you guys don't think it's too much trouble, go ahead and hit that share button for us. If you can share the show, particularly to like wrestling groups that you guys might be in, I think that would be wonderful, because let me tell you something, true blue wrestling fans here talking about the sport that we love, right, Justin? We're here to talk not only about the WWE, obviously we're going to talk some AEW, we're going to talk about some of our local independents like Jay Wade talked about, and most importantly, Jay Wade, we're going to talk about whatever the members of the Wrestle Talk family want to talk about. All you got to do is send us a DM and we will bring you on, and you can talk to us about whatever you want to talk to us about. Like this. You see this random guy that just showed up there?
Oh, my God.
You see that? Just brought him in.
I'm hijacking the show, gentlemen.
Yeah, not yet, though. We'll bring you back in a minute for the high spots.
Wow, that's a loud mic.
Yeah, dude. No, he's got a good mic. We just got to stop him from moving around so much, baby.
Yeah, I got my I got my Apple Air Pods, whatever they call them on.
Sound wonderful, sir.
Yeah, I can't believe it, and they're noise canceling. So if someone
and wireless, it looks like.
Yeah, if someone breaks in, I'm in trouble because I don't hear shit. So
I got the Sony joints.
So I like Sony. Yeah. I'm Apple bougie though. I'm an Apple bitch. I can't help it. I got
everything. I got an Android. Wait, I got an Android tablet. Wait, Justin. I got an Android tablet. Got a Microsoft computer and an Apple phone, bro. You got to be versatile, baby.
I can't, man. I love Apple. I've had Android before, and I just want to. I've gone through so many batteries, Apple-wise or Android-wise, that I'll never go back. So, no, man, we got a lot to talk about. You said pro wrestling, WWE, AEW,
all of it,
Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor. We got Forbidden Door coming up this weekend. Next weekend, we got the Money in the Bank, which I want to talk about. We got a lot to talk about.
Dude, I'm super excited about that. But you know what? We're a little bit out of order here today because there was something that was supposed to happen right at the onset of the show that did not. And I think we've got to hit it now, because if not, bro, I won't be able to get in the appropriate mood. So, gentlemen, do me a favor and go ahead and cue up that good old Mexican yell so the Night Owl can crack his first cerveza and we can really get this damn show on the road. All right, somebody's got that thing on loop. Again, guys, we're excited for today's episode. We may or may not have something to give away. Those of you who know, our boy Jared in St. Louis last week won a Mick Foley lunchbox. So if somebody's in here extra spicy today in the comment section, sharing, talking trash, maybe you want to come on and rock with us during the high spot segment. Who knows? Maybe I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. Hey, what do you say about that? Hey, Justin, do me a favor, baby. Yeah. Why don't you hit these bozos with one of the most important parts of the show, baby? That's when we acknowledge all of our wonderful sponsors, sir. Hit us up.
You got it. Wrestle Talk Podcast would like to thank all of our great sponsors. Royal Mills Transportation by Dewan Mills. We got Rathbun Engraving, where you can get the Wrestle Talk Podcast mug for just $20. Nobleman's Barber Lounge in Kansas City, Missouri. You got the Kincaid Arcade at the Oak Park Mall. Interstate 70 Sports Media. Little Popeye Designs, where you can get the Wrestle Talk Podcast tumbler and not marbles in your mouth. And the FWWC, the world's premier fantasy wrestling group. How about that?
Well done, my friend. Yeah. Well done.
Yes. Reading left to right reading. So
That's right. So check this out. Special surprise. You guys saw him a few minutes ago. Our boy, FWWC representative, the Alpha, will be joining the Wrestle Talk podcast during the FWWC High Spot segment, which is coming up in just a matter of moments. We'll also have Big Daddy P in for Snippets of Truth. We will have the CEO himself, Dewan Mills, 10 minutes, hitting on all things FWWC. Guys, if you're not in the FWWC and you like the fantasy stuff, what are you even doing with your life? Holla at one of us. We'll get you linked in to those fine folks over at the world's premier fantasy wrestling promotion. You heard my man over here mention it a second ago, the FWWC. With all that said, there's one bit of business before we jump into the high spot segment, and that's going to involve us showing our bright and shiny heads, Justin, because there's one other thing that we do here on the Wrestle Talk podcast that is almost a tradition. No, it is a tradition here on the Wrestle Talk podcast. And that's ask everybody to respectfully remove their caps, place their hands over their hearts as we help pay homage to the greatest country on God's green earth. And that's still America, damn it. Hit it, boys. That never gets easier.
I'm trying so hard not to corpse because you guys caught me off guard.
That's got to sound great in those. That's got to sound great in those super expensive Apple headphones of yours, Justin. I'm so sorry you had to go through that with your noise canceling nonsense. I love it. I love it. So, Alpha, we're getting ready to go into the high spot segment. Before we do that, bro, how the hell have you been?
It's been pretty rough on the Alpha's end. Not like too bad, but just a little case of real life hitting. That's all. But my family's here. We're working through it. And I'm learning at the ripe age of 25 that you can't sweat the small things. And the small things are things that are out of your control. And that's it.
and I may just ask, I'm sure Justin will agree with this. This is our getaway. Like when we're not in the hospital, when we're not working, we're not dealing with our family, like the one thing that I think gives us a little bit of shade, right, is professional wrestling and this like camaraderie that we build around the things we love about wrestling and the things we hate about wrestling. Because on any given week, okay, there's going to be both. Something to hate, something to love. And that's exactly what the high spot segment is all about. So I'm going to ask my boys in the back to go ahead and get this damn thing ready, baby, because the show moves on here on episode 349. It's time for some GJ money, and it's time for us to talk all things wrestling with you. Boys in the back, you know what to do. Hit the music.
Mic check, mic check. Yeah! All right. Wrestle Talk Podcast. DJ Money. Yeah. Let's go. Welcome to High Spots, where we pop news like lamb chops. We dog shop, coming through the screens of a laptop and non-stop like a runner's pieces of blacktop. We hit hard like chair shots and backdrops, like a spark flash, look like a barely fly. Now that's hard. We up to speed while they stay slow. Wrestle Talk Podcast. Now they know we about to start the show.
Well, as you guys saw on that last poster, we got a lot of things to get through today. High spots, shoot and shout segment, FWWC, snippets of truth. But the highlight of today's show, no matter what happens, is we are having, well, 1B. 1A, though, is Big Daddy Dion is going to be joining us. He's repping, that St. Louis area. You know what I mean? We're keeping a little local, man. CHWA. This kid is super hyper duper incredibly talented athletically. He's a beast on the mic. The people know exactly how to react to him. He knows how to speak to them, and it's not always in the nicest way. And I think that's going to come across perfectly here on the Wrestle Talk podcast, guys.
Yeah, and he's working for multiple promotions in the St. Louis area. And what I love about it is, he's getting his reps in. That's what I love about independent wrestling. You get your reps in. So hopefully one day we can say we talked to a future WWE, AEW, Impact wrestler.
We do that all the time, Hey, guys, Akira just won championship gold over on MLW. Guess who was on the show about a year ago? Your boy Akira. That boy is a beast. That boy likes to bleed. He likes to kill shit. And we knew he was going to be the man, and he is the man. He was the man already back then, but now the rest of the world is finding out about that, man. It's really, really awesome.
Wrestle Talk Podcast knew he was the man. Now everybody knows.
Let's go, baby. You tell him. All right. Are you guys ready to get into the first High Spots topic of the evening? What's happening?
Hey, there we go. Hey, what's up, Sonny?
Sonny Money.
Repping the city. You heard me?
Yeah, it's 54 degrees right now in Seattle. I'm wearing a sweater.
Cool. Yeah, it was like 91 up here today.
Yeah.
No fun. And he's in Florida, so it's always 90 where the Alpha's at.
Yeah.
We haven't even turned our air conditioning on yet.
You haven't even turned it on yet, you lucky
No,
duck.
we had to close the windows in the middle of the night because my dog was shivering. So,
oh, poor puppy.
I know, right? French bulldog.
I love the puppies. All right, you guys ready to hit the randomizer? What's up?
Let's get the hell going.
Let's go, baby. We'll hit the randomizer. First topic will come up, and we will have a conversation, boys. Let's do it. All right, gentlemen, first question going up is at the bottom of your screen, and it reads as follows. Does the Seth Rollins-Finn Balor match have a chance of stealing the show, gentlemen, of stealing the show at the upcoming Money in the Bank pay-per-view? Gentlemen, let's talk about it. Can these two very well-respected, maybe the very best at their trade, steal a jam-packed, up-and-coming Money in the Bank pay-per-view that will be broadcast live from the UK? Alpha, why don't you go ahead and lead us off, man?
This is a very layered question because we've seen this matchup before, and we've seen it for an inaugural championship before, like Jay just said. But I think the key that this match might have that'll really help it steal match of the night is the crowd. Because the England crowd are some of the most passionate. They're some of the most fiery. And I think if anybody's going to give Finn Balor the reaction he needs, because Seth's going to get a reaction either way. We all know this. Yeah, exactly. Especially with an England crowd, dude, they're all about chance.
But Finn's going to get it too if he goes demon, right? I mean,
I think so. That's why if they do demon, then it might really seal the deal for this match. Just because we know we'll get something good out of it.
Jay Wade, you seem to disagree, Poppy.
Man, they got that Money in the Bank match loaded up. That Money in the Bank is going to be the one that steals the show. Now, if you want to get the crowd going, you start the show off with the World Championship match with Rollins and Balor. And, well, hello. Is that
my baby, y'all?
It's like my wife usually chimes in, but
baby, not so baby, no more.
Yeah, so
that's why we keep them loaded.
Yeah.
All right, back to business.
Sonny
Money says, well, of course it has a chance. Edge versus Balor had the chance at Mania also, and that match shit the bed. I don't remember it that well, so I don't want to comment.
It was the Hell in a Cell.
I remember the injury.
Yeah, Balor got busted hard.
It was bad.
Yeah, it was bad. Now, here's the thing. Balor and Rollins, they're gonna if they open the show, it's gonna be great. I don't think they're gonna steal the show because the Money in the Bank match is gonna steal the show. They got it too loaded with Ricochet. I'm starting to see this Rodriguez guy. Hold on, I'm sorry, my mistake. The name for he's in the ladder match.
Gotta peep his notes.
Yes, I do.
Santos Escobar.
He's more prepared than I am.
Escobar.
Escobar is gonna definitely give us a good spot.
I'm pretty excited about Escobar. LA Knight, LWR, I like that.
Yeah.
LA Knight. The problem is, I think they've waited too long to pull the trigger on him with his.
You think he's going to get Bobby rooted? You think that's what's going to happen?
Oh yes, unfortunately,
he was so over too with that song.
Man,
the theme song was everything.
I like it though. They have the newbies in, but they also have veterans in there. They got Nakamura and Ricochet. He's a veteran right now, if you think about it. And the wild card now is Logan Paul is in this match.
I would have liked to see Brunson Reed in that spot, by the way. If they didn't throw Logan in there, I love Brunson.
They're kind of doing like they're mimicking how they had the Elimination Chamber. Damian Priest. That's another wild card too. Damian Priest, because that
boy got a mouthpiece too, boy.
And he had a fantastic bout with Bad Bunny. He made that guy look believable, and I heard he got great reactions in the backstage for his performance and his performances of late, especially when he went against Cody a couple weeks ago. I think they're going to strap, but here's the thing: age is the number here. These guys are not spring chickens anymore. I'm sorry, I'm stammering, but I got a lot to say. Nakamura's not young. LA Knight's not young. I think Ricochet, I think he's around my age now, if I'm mistaken. I'm 38. Is he younger than me?
He's low 30s.
Low 30s, but
mid-30s for sure.
It's going to be a hell of a pay-per-view, but I don't think Balor and Rollins are going to steal it. What do you think, Night Owl?
Well, I will say this. Let's use the old super kick scale, which we created years ago here on the WTP. 1 is no chance, 5 is absolutely, right? So I'm going to give it a 2.5% chance of stealing the show. What I mean is middle, like dead center. And I'll tell you why, because there's 2 Money in the Bank matches that are going to take place. And you got a World Championship match that's also going to take place. And then you got some big names that are coming in, Logan Paul and such, right? So there's going to be a few spots. But as far as what match will be the most complete match, what match will be the most complete match, start to finish, that's going to give you everything you want. What's the match that's most likely to give you 25 to 30 entertaining minutes right at the beginning of the show? I think this may be that match. Obviously, they're probably not going to have the main event spot, I don't think, because the buildup hasn't justified it. But if there are 2 guys that have the physical talents to steal the match and make it the best physical wrestling match of the night, it's those 2 guys, because physically it's hard to the separation between a Finn Balor and Daniel Bryan for athletically and talent-wise, what they can do in the ring, to me, it's that wide. Same with Seth Rollins. The question is Balor able to bring enough emotional investment out of the fans towards him? Has he garnered enough hatred towards him through his to make it like a 5-star match, not just based on what they do inside the squared circle, but like the motions that they bring out? And I think, to Sonny's point, I think that he's lost that connection. He's got a cool intro, but I just don't know if anybody's really invested in Finn Balor. I'm more invested in Damian Priest right now. I'm more invested in Dominic Mysterio and what happens with him than I'm really invested in Finn Balor. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's like what's happened to Adam Cole. Great match against MJF. Was really anybody invested in Adam Cole recently? No, my God. It was such a waste. Even though it was a great match, it still could be a 5 out of 5 because nobody gave a shit about Adam Cole 30 days ago. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm tangenting here. You guys can jump in. I'm all over the place. But, boy, I got a lot to say too, Daddy.
We got time to fill, bro. Don't worry.
Let's go.
We got one aspect we got to consider about Money in the Bank. We're not even talking about the match we got to talk about, and I think it's one of the high spots. The Usos against Roman.
Whoa. We can move on. But the randomizer is in charge here. Yeah. All right. I got you. I know I jumped around, so that's my bad. I didn't mean to lead us astray.
You're a fearless leader. You're a fearless leader, Night Owl. Yeah, I'm just going off of what. Yeah.
Well, I'm not in the middle, Cam. He is, so it's his fault.
No. Are you
guys ready to hit the randomizer again? You guys can reference back to this question if you need to. It's not that stringent. All right, guys in the back, you know what to do. Cue up that randomizer. Let's bring up the next topic. Boy, it is getting spicy in here tonight. Let's keep it moving. Next question up on the board, gentlemen. Something that we were kind of maybe referencing a little bit earlier. Not so sure that this is what everybody wants to talk about, but let's go ahead and put up the next topic. Ooh, the punker. Woo, this is gonna solicit some emotions from
We're
few
still
people
talking about this dude. Like, I'm sorry. We've been talking about this dude for a year.
Jay Wade, I want to see if we can get that rant meter going a little bit. So, bro,
here's the thing: there's not going to be a bad rant on Punk for me. Okay, he's star power. His mic. Now they did have low ratings from what I heard for this collision, but I can tell you why.
The attendance was no bueno, bro.
Here's the thing: WWE. This is how they do it. They do Raw, NXT, and then you got a couple days to get your shit together, and then you got on Friday Night SmackDown, being like, all right, now I can start my weekend. AEW, they're late to the party. They go Wednesday night, they go Friday, and they go Saturday now, and it's just too much right there. That three, right, for some reason that it's not working, and there's too much AEW at the moment. I do like Collision because Miro and Andrade are getting some screen time now.
Gosh, they're
and
so good. Both
Andrade, they're messing the markup. He could be the next Eddie Guerrero, and they're just messing up. That was supposed to be WWE. They were looking for the next Eddie Guerrero back when he was with WWE, and they were wanting that with Alberto Del Rio. And I'm sorry I'm going off, but back to Punk.
I just want to throw one thing out there.
Go ahead.
In the ring, people are gonna shit on me for this. In the ring, Andrade is more talented than Eddie Guerrero ever was.
Yes, and he's very, very,
and so
very
is Ray Phoenix.
Strong.
And so is Ray Phoenix. But that's just my thoughts.
I like it. I like it that Punk's back because if you guys
Alpha's
remember,
ready, bro. Look at him chomping at the bit, right?
If you guys remember, Eric Bischoff says it best in the title of his autobiography: "Controversy creates cash." Now listen. I would have not have debuted him back on a Saturday show. I would have debuted him back on a pay-per-view. Had him come back in a pay-per-view, not a show that. You, me, and Alpha are doing shit. I saw The Flash on Saturday night. I'm not at home watching wrestling.
Well, you were one of the 8 people that went.
Hey, I'm a Batman fan through and through. It was pretty much a Batman.
The previews
movie.
looked amazing.
It's just frustrating because DC came late to the dance, unfortunately, when it comes to movies, because Marvel's got that hand right now. But anyways, Punk is good for business. It sucks that they brought him back to a show that no one's watching because everybody's getting shit faced and partying up on a Saturday night. Back in the day, wrestling was the thing, but now, like me, I record everything. I've been recording AEW and WWE for the longest time. So with that being said, Sonny, your thoughts.
Sonny says Punk was gone for 7 years and his name was constantly mentioned.
Yeah.
Listen, from me, it was go away heat. So I don't think all that everyone was talking about Punk. I think half of us were like, dude, I'm so sick of this dude. I don't want to hear about him anymore. And the other half were the Punk fanboys. But Alpha, baby, I know you've got some thoughts on this because you're very in tune with a lot of different aspects of pro wrestling. Can't wait till we get into some of the New Japan stuff here in a minute for Forbidden Door. I hope the randomizer will do us this favor.
Yeah.
But my point is,
it'll set us up the ball.
Yeah, bro. Punk is always a hot topic, man. What are your thoughts here on the Wrestle Talk Podcast High Spot segment?
Well, I'm glad I can get the mic to talk about this because I'm in the same boat that
big
Justin
ass mic.
was.
You said that's a big ass mic.
Yeah.
It sounds good though. Just stop moving it.
I'm not breathing on it.
Yeah. It sounds good. Just stop moving it.
So I'm in the same boat as Justin. I get it. I get that something happened. I wasn't there to see it happen. I got two different points of opinions here. I got the Young Bucks perspective and Kenny Omega's perspective and CM Punk. I don't know what happened. I just know that Punk is a businessman and he wants to do business. And whether people want to admit it or not, we are still talking about him. This dude has been in our brains rent-free for years when he wasn't even stepping in the ring. And now he is here. You bet your bottom dollar they're going to do everything to ride this out, especially because there's potential in the match. I'm sorry. Just the thought of him and Samoa Joe going at it one more time. I'm like, tell me that wouldn't sell a theater. Tell me that wouldn't sell a pay-per-view. I'm saying.
Well, you got the Casey Cinema American Bandstand microphone out there. Hey, I think it sounds great. Just keep it close and don't move it, because otherwise you get a lot of jittery.
Is this far back enough?
Yeah, I think you're fine. I got this gimmick here.
I gotta get
but little by little, bro. Little by little. And by the way, guys, if you ever want to pitch in and help with the cause here on the Wrestle Talk podcast. The money usually goes to advertising, events, also producing this awesome merch. If you guys get this merch, we kind of throw it in the Wrestle Talk fund, and maybe we can all pitch in and help Alpha get a mic that's not going to keep making all that weird noise.
Please, I'm poor.
Yeah, who is it?
All he needs is a stand for that mic, and if you held the stand, it wouldn't make as much noise, I believe.
But it's really not that bad. We're teasing more than anything else.
No,
This is really not that bad.
No, when you're not on here, Renee talks mad shit about your mic problems. But anyways, I'd love to. I'm itching to get back in the ring, by the way, boys.
Whoa, easy, buddy.
No, I am loving this. Okay, I at the top of my head. Okay, you guys are like Punk. He's the old news. He's not old news. Because listen to these matches: Punk against Danielson, Punk against Joe, Punk against Adam Cole, Punk against Ospreay, Punk against Bandito. Just think of these names. The Bandito okay, so I did watch AEW Rampage on Friday night, and Takeshita and Bandito put on a main event like no other. Yes. And it was fantastic. It was fan-fucking-tastic. And Night Owl, I'm sorry if I'm taking a lot of talk time. I do apologize.
No,
I'm just
please.
excited. I'm just excited because we have so much content now that we used to not have, because when TNA was back in the day, you had to find out what fucking channel is it's on. Now we know what everything is on. Now, Snitch, we do only need you, but at the same time, other people have likes.
Are you fanboying the Snitch too?
No, I'm trying to.
Everybody's on the payroll.
Everybody, wish.
Did he buy you those headphones?
Yeah, dude, those are really nice.
But no, it just we have more access to content now than we did previously when they had, like Ring of Honor. It was so hard to find Ring of Honor. Now it is still hard to find Ring of Honor
unless
now.
you lived in Philly or something. I mean,
yes, and now you got to have Ring of Honor's app to be able to watch them and stuff. But I have more to talk about Ring of Honor if we get to a topic on that. But yeah, I'm glad CM Punk's back because I think he's going to put on some 5-star matches.
Okay, and again, before we move on and back to Alpha, and then I'll give you my thoughts, let's make sure, and I hate to be a stickler here because usually it's Roberts.
No, it's okay, sir.
But does the wrestling world need Punk? In his promo, he seems to allude to the fact that it's not the same without him. So the question is, and I pose it to you, Justin, before we move on.
Yes.
Okay, and on a scale on a scale from 1 to 5, 1 to 5 super kicks, how much does the wrestling world need him?
3.5, because he's burning his lives, so to speak. He should have came back sooner, but it's I believe the fans are going to be happy that at least if he can keep his shit together, that these fans that are coming through, they'll get to see what Phil Brooks is, and they'll get to know him to where they can search and see what he was back in the day.
I'm going to disagree with you guys. I've been I've been biting my tongue a little bit. Let me tell you something, okay? When old guys like me start talking about what's wrong with youth,
you're 39.
Like
I'm older. You're by a year. You got me. You're not.
It's all a matter of perspective. To Alpha, I may be an old guy.
Well, Alpha's a little.
To you, I'm a young guy, and to you, a 65-year-old guy, you're a young guy. You understand what I'm saying? It's all perspective. But anyway, okay, so let me get to this.
I'm a kid to 65-year-old.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say, bro. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Okay, so point being, I had my train. Here it goes. When you stop and think about what's wrong with kids today, right? That old kids today, off my yard, right? When I put myself in those shoes, what are those things? What are the attributes that make me feel like there's something wrong with the youth today? Okay. The first thing that comes into mind for me is entitlement. As entertaining and as great on the mic as CM Punk is, he's not the best. That role is reserved for MJF as an in-ring competitor. And then overall guys like Heyman, I could keep going down the line. So number one, he's not the best on the mic. Number two, he is a shell of what he was in his prime. I'm not saying he's not good anymore, gentlemen. Don't get me wrong, but he is a shell of what is his prime. You know who's not? Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is still as capable physically as he was during Yes. Okay? So for me, it comes down to this. I never will look at a particular wrestler and say he's bigger than wrestling. And if I say to you, and if I oblige CM Punk and say, yes, we need you, then I'm saying that wrestling can't move on without you. And as great as CM Punk has been throughout his career, iconic promos, iconic matches, iconic title runs. I mean, he stole AJ from us. For that reason alone, I got heat with him. That's just me. She can be seen occasionally on WOW, Women of Wrestling. Shout out to Jeannie Buss and those wonderful folks that have always treated us very, very well here on the Wrestle Talk Podcast. Maybe we should have some more WOW Women of Wrestling guests on, guys. What do you think? That'd be a fun time, right?
I'd be down.
Yeah, who wouldn't? You hear me? By the way, I think we interviewed Thunder Rosa during her time at WOW. Great interview. I mean, it's Thunder Rosa, guys. But long story short, well, long story long, really, because it's the Night Owl. I'm long-winded as hell. You guys know this. My thing is this. I am not willing to give it to CM Punk that we need him. Because if we needed him, wrestling wouldn't have succeeded throughout his departure. And throughout his departure, we got a whole new promotion. And they didn't need CM Punk to start that promotion. They needed Cody. They needed the Bucks. They needed Hangman. They needed who they needed at the time. It wasn't him. They did it without him. Now, could he have very well led that charge if he's still active? Absolutely. He's that kind of guy. But did that movement need him? No. Did WWE need him for what they're doing right now with the Bloodline? No. CM Punk, we don't need you. And his entitled attitude, gentlemen, is what brings me back to my original point. What is wrong with the kids today? What's wrong with the kids today is that they act like CM Punk. The difference is CM Punk has earned it. He's earned it to a certain degree. But he's not bigger than wrestling. He's not bigger than AEW. He's not the best on the mic, and he's not the best in the ring. Does he deserve a place in wrestling? Absolutely. But he should feel privileged to have that opportunity, just like we do here on the Wrestle Talk Podcast, whether it be as fans or commentators or ring announcers or wrestlers or whatever it may be. I think what that young man is missing is a whole section, not just one slice, the whole section of humble pie. And I think one day, not MMA didn't do it. The injuries didn't do it. Getting shit on by a bunch of people after this last exit didn't do it. Embarrassing himself in front of the boss didn't do it. Maybe now CM Punk will be humble enough to actually give us the matches that we deserve and not immediately try to put himself at the pinnacle of the professional wrestling business every goddamn time, because he doesn't need to. Daniel Bryan doesn't need to be the top guy. Dean Ambrose doesn't need to be the top guy. Shit, there was a time that Antonio Inoki didn't even need to be the top guy. You know why? Because other guys came along and they did just as well without him, because the business doesn't need you, CM Punk. You need the business, but we love you and we want you to be here as long as you respect it and respect us the way that you're supposed to. Soapbox over, but I had to say it that way because I think CM Punk and a lot of guys like him are very entitled, and I don't like that energy, Jay Wade. I don't like it, Alpha, at all.
I don't like it either, but it's just one more week that we're talking about him. He got us talking about him one way or another. He got himself another paycheck this week. And
that is the bottom line. That's the bottom line.
You know what?
But he took AJ from us. You're not mad at him for that?
No, because at the time I was there's a lot going on during that time for me in wrestling. There was a lot of tripping going on for me in the city of Chicago when I lived there for a time being. And nice. I lived. I'm a world traveler almost. Yeah, no, this is the far. Seattle's the first time I've ever been on the West Coast of any kind. So yes, hello, Wrestle Talk Podcast family. Hey, what's up, man? But yeah, anyways, Punk got us talking again. A lot of people don't like him. A lot of people love him, and that's how it is in wrestling, guys. We gotta, these, we all. This is why I love this show. We all have our likes and dislikes, and guess what? I respect who you like and who you don't like, as long as you respect who I like and don't like. So that's how it is. So
I like CM Punk. I just answering the question. I don't think that wrestling needs him. Alpha, circle back. What do you think? Does it need him?
I think it could benefit from him, but I'm in your boat, Renee, in that I think CM Punk needs to understand that when it's you versus the world, you better be worth a lot. And I think he's losing stock. I think it's definitely that he's losing ground on his appeal, especially in the mainstream of the CM Punk apologist, especially because after that incident, it seems like a lot of people aren't on his side for stuff like this.
No, that's unprofessional what he did in the world of wrestling. What he did
exactly,
so.
And it's hard to defend a guy when it's that bad. Like, because his time in WWE was screwed up. Nobody can refute me on that. That was messed up. So that's why we were on his side.
I'm kind of getting. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Alpha.
You're okay. But then it's like this incident is a little more like, okay, why are we now hearing that he's a drama queen? Like, is everything that happened now this? And then, yeah, you were going to say, Justin?
He's kind of modern day Bret Hart by the way he complains and everything, and how he thinks he's the number one pro wrestler in the world. Unfortunately, you know, like when Bret was complaining, Sean was up and coming. You know, you can't hold on to a spot forever. You know, like, you know, and these guys they get the world handed to them, and they think it's forever, but it's only for as long as you're bringing in dollars, and then it goes on to the next guy. That was Shawn Michaels, and Bret couldn't take it. Bret couldn't handle it, and it was the same for when Austin came up. Michaels couldn't handle that. Supposedly Taker was sitting in the gorilla position during WrestleMania 14 during their main event, making sure Shawn dropped the belt to Austin, or he was going to bring those bones out and start messing up Michaels. So I think
don't want beef with that guy. You don't want it with that guy.
I think
I never noticed that painting.
Punk is a modern day Hart. Hopefully he never hears this and bashes on us, but Punk is a modern day Hart, and his 9 lives are running out.
Ooh, so are Natty's. Did you see her the other night? Oh, that's not a pretty sight anymore. I'm sorry. Natalia? Natalia Neidhart?
I'm not trying to be mean, but it looks like she's done a little something to alter her face a little bit.
She's starting to look like Stifler's mom.
But yes, she does. In all seriousness,
this is a family show, Nino.
No, it ain't. Don't lie to people. No, it's
the
not.
Fuck. In all honesty, though, has she done some work to her face?
Too much, bro.
Now, couldn't that hurt her, though?
I tell my wife all the time, I'm like, bro, you trying to say that God messed up? Nah, bro, you look beautiful. What are you doing all that for? What's wrong with you? Come on.
Couldn't, if they get injured, couldn't that mess their face up even more?
I don't know.
I don't know. It just we're not
Why
the
you
television.
see your cheekbones for? What's the whole?
We're not the television show.
I look like Alvin.
So.
I look like Alvin from Alvin and the Chipmunks.
All right, next high spot.
Okay. All right. Well, real quick here. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. I mean, there's some people that were absolutely for CM Punk. We saw this one before. Money. Yeah, Rodell's kind of over it to a certain extent.
In the middle.
But something else has been going on during our broadcast, and I want to highlight it because it's always a little funny. So apparently, Ray Leone has been getting tagged. He got tired of it. So he sends this message to my biggest fan, Aaron Wallace. Here you go, you idiot. I made the show. Renee Night Owl, I love and can't stand you at the same time. So F you. Yeah, brother. God bless you too, man. God bless you too, bud. So there's a lot of heat going on. Aaron Wallace and Sonny Mayo arguing back and forth with the Empire. Apparently Sonny was or Aaron Wallace were nut hugging Ray Leone last night during the I-70 High Spots podcast. Let me see here. I-70 Hot Tag. I think I said that wrong. We already saw from Luchador. I just want to make sure I acknowledge the listeners, guys. It's awesome. Right. So
without them.
Ray Leone coming back here. It says, we love you. Like Night Owl, bro. I haven't talked about you in years. I don't know what you're talking about. The three of you, everyone else, look yourselves. Oh, Ray Leone, he's so cool. I wish I could be like him. Well, I guess we'll never be. Okay, yeah. Dollar Tree, Andrew Tate thinks we want to be like him. You got to be kidding me. So, yeah, there's a lot of heat going on here. But it's a family show.
Dollar Tree, Andrew Tate.
I know, man. He's still looking for his Bugatti. I don't know what the fuck. Anyway, all right, let's hit the randomizer, guys. And then after this next topic, we're going to bring on the CEO. Actually, you know what would be really dope? If we brought Dewan in for this next High Spots topic.
Let's do it. And
then he could weave in the FWWC stuff while he's here. Dewan, give me a thumbs up if you like that idea. He's got tortillas in his hand. He's cooking. All right, we're going to give him a few minutes. He's whipping it up. Are you good? You want to come on? All right, he said bring it. Ladies and gentlemen.
My man's cooking food.
He's cooking. He was doing this. I love it. It's the best gimmick ever. Chef Boy, our homie. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to be the one to introduce not only a business partner, not only an associate, but a man who puts his heart into everything that he does, whether it's his family, whether it's his job, whether it's his faith, or whether it's his passion. The FWWC, this guy puts his heart into every single thing. Every time he comes on here and talks about the FWWC, you can see it, you can feel it, you can hear it. So without any further ado, amigos, let's welcome in the CEO himself, Dewan Man.
What's up, homie? So technically, these are not American tacos. I'm sorry, Renee. I mean, these are American tacos. I hate to offend you. I apologize, sir.
Hey,
this ain't it.
I like Tex-Mex too, bro. I'm not hating.
However, I got you, dog. You feel me?
Yeah. All right,
listen.
we good.
We good. So what's poppin', y'all?
We're not good. We're not good because this calls for something special. May I?
Okay. Go for it.
No, you put the tortillas up. You know that's gonna happen.
Hey, for sure. What's poppin', y'all? What's happening?
Talk to us, baby. How you been? What's going on?
Man, multitasking, multi-working, still being a father, still being a husband, still being a big wrestling fan, trying to figure out what's all the controversy with CM Punk and what's everybody pissing and moaning about, man. I don't get it. Why is everybody upset?
You can touch on it. You can touch on the CM Punk question as we bring up the next topic in High Spots. Are you cool with that?
Yes, sir. I'm great with that.
You can go backwards, but here's the next topic, boys. We got about 30 minutes before our boy, Big Daddy Dion, joins the show representing the STL, baby, one of the hardest working wrestlers in the game today. Already held some championships. He's young, he's athletic, and he's a real pain in the ass to some people. So can't wait till we bring him on. But let's go ahead and hit that randomizer, gentlemen, and bring up the next topic in tonight's episode of 349, the Wrestle Talk Podcast. That's right, baby. We're talking about the High Spot segment. Hit it, boys. All right. Here we go. Next topic, gentlemen. Which, if any, of the AEW Forbidden Door matches are you most looking forward to and why? This is barring on everybody actually watching AEW. I know not everybody watches everything. So if you know a little, let's talk about the little bit that you know. Let's go ahead and kick it off with our guest. Dewan, anything in Forbidden Door calling your attention? Are you paying attention to what's going on in AEW at all? What do you think?
To an extent. If I'm not mistaken, are they really trying to
list?
Okay, so let me ask you a question, Alpha. Are they trying to book Sting and Jericho at a Forbidden Door or no? That's no. Is that a yes or no?
I'm not seeing anything on the card list.
I'm going to say no because they're going to build it to where it's going to be a tag match with Jericho and Guevara against Sting and Allen. They can't. I don't think they want to have Sting in a singles match with his.
Yeah, bring the card up. Bring the card up because there are a couple matches I saw that was kind of interesting.
I only saw 4 listed matches.
Yep, 4 listed matches. Let's go through them really quickly here. The first one we'll talk about is
that one right there. That is going to be, boy, listen to me. Boy. If you want to see some boy, B-O-I, not B-O-Y, listen, wrestling freaking personified, okay? I can't pronounce the gentleman's name out of New Japan. Somebody help me out. Okada and Bryan Danielson, dude, freaking legendary. Both these guys are respected in their own, legacy and their wrestling careers. But help me out. Is this maybe... They've wrestled each other before, correct? Or am I mistaken?
No.
They haven't? This is their first time?
No,
dude, there's no other match to be watched.
First, actually.
This is it.
Yeah, because Danielson was too busy in the WWE while Okada was popular in New Japan. So,
dude, this is going to be it.
Wait, is this bigger than Danielson versus Triple H, Batista, and Randy Orton?
Way.
Is this bigger than that?
Yes.
By a mile.
Yes,
dude.
Alpha. What do you say, Alpha?
Is that a question?
Right.
Bigger than WrestleMania? Y'all are saying
if we're talking in the grand scheme of wrestling,
this
yes.
match, yeah.
I'm sorry.
There's been some bigger matches. MJF and Danielson did an hour Iron Man match, and that match was bigger than
significance.
Yep.
But that match was more popular, in my opinion, than Triple H and Bryan Danielson. CM Punk left WWE because his reward was to face Triple H at that year's Mania. He left, and they put Danielson against Triple H going into the triple threat match because Punk was like, that's not Mania to me facing Triple H. Triple H had in his head that you face me at Mania, it's going to make you. No. You got to face Taker if you want to make it. If you're going to make it at Mania, Triple H, his hype was way. I can go on and on. Triple H's hype is nothing, and it's just,
what? You're underselling Triple H?
Hold on, wait a minute.
I'm on the side with this, but we're going to be here all night if we're talking
about this.
Are you
on this train?
Yeah, here's the train. This is the hype of Triple H. He puts himself dead last with Randy Orton in WrestleMania 25 when you have motherfucking Undertaker against Shawn Michaels. What type of hype is that?
Fucking bullshit!
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Is getting
damn, brother.
Here.
And it's getting spicy.
You went for the nuts on that one.
And let me tell you something. I hope.
I've never heard anybody say Triple is overhyped. All right.
Oh God. I hope he hears this because I don't ever want to wrestle in WWE
on,
if I get the chance.
We all want jobs here. Though.
Wow.
I want here's my dream, and you can talk to Luke Roberts. When I was working, when he was training me, my goal was to headline at New Japan someday. I don't ever want to go to WWE.
That's fair.
Wow.
So,
that's a fair goal. You know why I say that?
Is a fair goal.
Because you can go over there, make a ton of money, and be uber successful like this guy.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Will Ospreay
versus
Kenny Omega, possibly the biggest never worked in WWE match of all time. Never worked in WWE. Neither one of these guys. Well, maybe Omega as a jobber years ago. I think there's some video of who knows when.
If you really want to get technical.
Yeah, but I don't think that counts. I don't think that really counts. Guys, let's talk about it. Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay 2. How significant is this match? Why should the casual pro wrestling fan care? Alpha, what do you got?
I'm glad you started with me because I am super excited for this match. I can't tell people how excited I am to know that this match is happening because this match is going to fall into the category of many of famous movies. Terminator 2, Aliens, any kind of sequel that you can remember was better than the original. This is what this match has to live up to. And if
The Dark Knight.
If anybody is going to live up to that, Kenny Omega, this version of Kenny Omega, maybe not like 7 years ago, but this belt collector, Kenny Omega, North Carolina versus Commonwealth Kingpin, Will Ospreay, leader of the United Empire. This match will sell. This will stick, and this will be the best thing ever. And I don't give a shit what any of you freaking smart marks on the internet have to say about this shit because I am ready, and you can kiss my ass. I'm sorry. I don't care if I'm a 25-year-old about this.
I have a question. Can I request to be educated here by a younger man? As I'm humble, I try to be humble. What is the North Carolina thing? Where did just this much? Because we all got to go around about the topic. But where did that come from? I hear Justin Roberts do it all the time. North Carolina. Actually, Dewan and I had some box seats to an AEW show not too long ago, Poppy. Here you go.
It was all good, baby. All day.
Yeah, shout out to General Motors or whoever the fuck. But anyway, somebody hooked this up.
Cable Dahmer
hooked this up. But anyway, can you explain the North Carolina thing to me?
Maybe because of Flair. Maybe because of Nature Boy. That was his home state back, Charlotte, North Carolina back then. So
I
maybe it's like
it up. It's a Michael Jordan reference.
Oh yeah.
I found a tweet. It says, "Hate to share industry secrets, but it's a tribute to the Chicago Bulls and how they treated Michael Jordan making his entrance," which fits because I remember those now.
But he's not from North Carolina. He's from like Quebec or something.
It's wrestling. Who cares?
It's wrestling.
That he's not from there. Okay, my bad.
No, it doesn't matter.
Wasn't from Japan. We make these distinctions.
That's fair. That's fair. Now, I just wanted to understand what it was. He thinks he's the greatest.
I agree.
But Jay Wade, you've waited long enough, bro. I know you got something to say on this because you're the guy that's not just WWE bound. You're the guy who had a dream of main eventing a New Japan show, as you illustrated to us before.
Hey, you got to dream big, baby.
What do you think about this matchup, man? What's up?
This match, the first one, they killed each other at Wrestle Kingdom. They destroyed each other. And this match, Omega has said it. If Ospreay doesn't beat him, Omega's like, I don't have any other reasons to go back to Japan. So this is a big match. Seeing these two square off, and this show is going to be in Canada, correct?
Toronto.
Toronto, yeah. So that's crazy.
Toronto crowd? No.
Yeah, this is gonna be nuts because if you guys know how Canada crowds are for pro wrestling. The heels get cheered, the faces get booed. There's fires in the stands. There's cult sacrifices down underneath the ring. It's mass hysteria. So it's going to be a great show. Kenny Omega, that match, in my opinion, might have to be the main event for the show, not the title bouts. That match alone is that. And here's the thing: it feels like they're not going to announce many more matches until like the day of, I guess, because these matches alone are paying for the show. I'd love to. Oh my god, a Sonata and Jungle Boy. Oh my god,
that's gonna be a. You're jumping ahead. You're jumping ahead.
Getting too far ahead ourselves.
You're jumping ahead a little bit, but yeah, this card is gonna be crazy.
Ospreay is on another level. That forearm elbow finisher he gives people looks like he just kills them when he hits you.
And he picked up some beef over the last 2 years, man.
That dude is juicing.
Hey.
And Logan Paul isn't.
Wow.
He wasn't.
Oh Lord, let's not bring that up.
All thing, bro. We growing around here, baby. We growing around here. All right.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to give Dewan a minute here. To
go ahead, Dewan. Get in.
Dewan, yes, FWWC stuff, bro. As exciting as everything is, if you want to slide just to one side, that'd be great. Just pick a side.
I'm sliding. With the kids in the background. So this will be the last pay-per-view, or should I say this will be the last live challenge before FWWC Money in the Bank. Coming up Saturday, July 1st, we're going to have ourselves a little bit of a hardcore reunion match. We have a lot of hardcore legends in the FWWC, but these are the four that came off the top of my head. Hardcore Hoss, our current FWC Hardcore Champion. Ace, former Hardcore Champion. Jimmy Rattlesnake, former Hardcore Champion. Susie Hoss, former Hardcore Champion. If you want to talk about hardcore, talk about these four individuals. Yeah, we got Mata. Yeah, we got Marcus Mayhem. But these four individuals are going to wreck the freaking house this Friday. And then next week, ladies and gentlemen, will be strictly role play only. Because the week of 4th of July, baby, or should I say July the 1st, or the week of FWC Money in the Bank, we're going to get all these storylines together. We're going to talk about it. And on top of that, this Thursday at 8 p.m., new start time for the FWC tonight. Gives me an opportunity to come home, get off of work, cook dinner, get stuff done. We're going to have the FWC tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. Central, no longer 7:30. That gives your boy time to get his shoot life together. All good.
Gotta love it, Dewan. Thank you so much for giving us that FWWC update. You're welcome to stay and hang out. Big Daddy P should be here with us in just a matter of moments. If you'd like to go, that's cool too. I know you'll keep watching, bro. I'm appreciative for you being here every single week. And just know the Wrestle Talk Podcast has this connection, this affinity for the world's premier fantasy wrestling promotion, the FWWC. And you know what? I'm gonna kind of break that 15th wall or whatever the hell they always say, and just show you guys that when I say the world's premier fantasy wrestling promotion,
that's a nice belt.
This is a full 6.5 pound belt with 3/4 inch or half-inch plates. This plate says FWWC Fantasy Wrestling. This plate says Wrestle Talk Podcast because of our amazing partnership. And then this centerpiece was completely designed by a member of the FWWC. It is called the Warriors Heart Championship. You can see the heart, the bones on the outside, and you can see it says championship down here at the bottom. And then you've got the historic, the traditional Spartans lid at the top, right? So when I say that we compete for the coolest and most prestigious belts in the fantasy wrestling universe, and when I say we're the world's premier fantasy wrestling promotion, I ain't lying, folks, because the night out, I always tell the truth, man. Even when I lie. Even when I lie. So anyway, guys, FWWC, the boss, the guy that's in charge of everything over there, make sure the water keeps flowing in the right direction. It's him. It's me. It's CEO Dewan Mills. Dewan, thank you, man. Have a great night. Love you, bro.
Appreciate you guys. I'm out.
Okay, Dewan.
There we go, everybody. Dewan is gone. Can we get a round of applause for the CEO coming on? He's cooking dinner for his family. He's talking FWWC, jumping in, doing wrestling topics with us, man. Those are the kind of people that we love to have here on the show. You guys love Dewan, right? I'm sure.
Always, dude. Always.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Jay Wade likes him. He's been very stoic for like the last 30 seconds.
Stoic.
Yeah. You didn't clap. You didn't say anything nice.
I was trying to say bye to Dwayne, and you guys just cut
His
me
name's
off.
not Dwayne. It's Dewan.
Dewan.
Okay, Night Owl. I'm an investigator. I'm going to find out where you live, and I'm going to call some hell to you.
It's Dewan, not Dwayne. You're never living that down. All right, guys. On to the next topic, because we're going to kind of do this the same. I liked how we did this. So we wove in FWWC to the high spots. I'm sure you like that, Alpha. We're going to weave in snippets of truth into the high spots, because I don't think we're done yet, right, gentlemen? We're still ready to continue talking about all these hot topics. Can I get a thumbs up?
Double thumbs up.
Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, to join us for a continued high spot segment, and also sprinkle in a little bit of snippets of truth. My man who has not been feeling that well lately health-wise, still finding a way to make his presence felt here on the Wrestle Talk podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in my big brother, also somebody who's been a staunch supporter of the Wrestle Talk podcast, probably since episode 100. That was a long time ago. Amigos, the one and only Big Daddy P.
What's up, gentlemen?
What up,
What up, Dino?
Welcome
How y'all doing?
to his house,
Big
my
Daddy.
friend. Welcome to his house, man.
Always
We
a
haven't
pleasure.
seen you in a
Always a
while, Big
pleasure.
Daddy P. Like the boy said, it's a pleasure.
He was here last week.
Hey, I was on last week, baby.
No. And I excuse myself because I wasn't here last week, but I know before then you'd been dealing with some illness, bro. How are you feeling?
Oh
How
no,
are
the
you
illness is
coming
no.
along?
It was a money issue, bro. It ain't nothing to do with illness. Car broke down, business just like stopped, and what sucks is that when my business stops, the electric company don't care. You know what I mean?
They don't.
So when things began to get difficult, instead of panicking, I waited because I know the Lord knows my address. He's been blessing me this whole time. But sometimes things happen for a reason. And a lot of times people like to point and say, well, you know, maybe you're doing something wrong. Maybe you're sinning. Maybe you're not going to church enough. Maybe you're not giving enough. Maybe you're not praying enough. Let me tell you something. If you put him first, everything else falls in line. But when it doesn't, and if you remember in the past, we've talked about the book of Job when God has a conversation with Satan. And Satan says, look, the only reason why Job serves you is because you bless him. If you take it all away, he'll curse your name. Well, it looks like the Lord saw fit for the last 3 months to take a lot of things away. And instead of freaking out and panicking, which I only did one day, I just rested in him, and all has slowly turned around, and I just have to learn to be patient. But it's so glad to be with you guys. I love you. How have y'all been?
But Big Daddy P, hold on. Listen, I got a lot of bad habits, and I think you know what they are. You didn't have kidney stones, bro?
You
Am
know,
I
now
tripping?
that I think about it,
Am I
you're
tripping?
right. My Peter stopped for a second. And I mean, that's my best friend. You know what I mean? And yes, you're right. I totally forgot about that.
I felt like a total asshole. I was like,
oh, no, you're right. I did. Yeah, that was, but that, man, I somehow it just got better. It was like I was freaking pissing Tennessee orange for about 3 days.
Oh, no.
Too
Yeah.
bad it wasn't Tennessee whiskey, man.
Oh.
But
That would've been way
fortunately,
cooler.
you're right, man. I forgot. That was, my wife said, you know, you got away lucky on that one.
You
Because
got to be.
I've heard when they pass, I didn't even feel it pass. So the hardest part about that was knowing that, you know, Big Daddy P, which a lot of people don't know what the P stands for. And so if you want to apply it to that, he was hurting. I mean, I haven't felt that since I got gonorrhea when I was 15.
Oh no, God bless him.
So, I mean, you know what it's like? Okay, hey, we have all men here. Isn't it great to sit there, go in the pot and pee, and it's normal?
We do have women spectators, Perry. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, but they have them too. They have problems. They have urinary infections.
They have once a month problems. So
STIs are terrible.
But
where did this podcast go?
No. Again, this is snippets of truth.
Men truth.
This is massive truth.
Snippets of menstrual cycles.
Big
Daddy P. So here's what we did for FWWC. So we let Dewan, Dewan. We let Dewan come on. He joined us for high spots and then sprinkled in FWWC. Can we do it like that with you? Because it worked great.
Whatever you want to do. I just know what I have to share tonight.
Okay, well, we want to give you the opportunity to do that. So let's do this. Let's hit the randomizer again, guys, and see what the next topic during High Spots is. We'll let our guest go first, and then we'll let him sprinkle in his snippets of truth and then close us out.
I hope it's not about AEW.
Well, I can't promise you, bro. I have no control over the randomizer. You ready?
Yep.
Let's go. Whoa. Where's the volume on my randomizer? Guys, come on, fellas. We've been doing this for a while now. Let's try it again. Ooh, this is a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, the question, Jay-Way, do you want to read that off for us?
Yeah, according to media sources, Gable Stevenson intends to use his final year of NCAA eligibility. Does this help or hurt the WWE?
Big Daddy P, go first.
Well,
what do you know about this guy?
They haven't even used him. I mean, once, twice. I don't think that's going to hurt WWE at all.
Why?
Not at all.
Why?
Well, because they got other talent that has a lot more value, in my opinion. I'm not saying he's not valuable. I haven't seen what he can do yet, so I'm not even excited about him.
Okay, fair. Alpha, what do you got for us, bud?
Not a whole lot that Big Daddy P didn't already cover. I'm like, I don't really know who this guy is, so I can't feel like he's a wasted opportunity, but I also can't feel like they're losing anything if I haven't seen what he can do yet. I mean, I'm just kind of like flatline right now. Plateauing.
That's fair. That's fair. Not every topic is gonna be CM Punk, fellas.
Yes, bring it down. Bring it down to here.
Let's go, Big Daddy. Hit us with it.
Let me tell you something, okay? I think this doesn't hurt or help the WWE whatsoever. It's not gonna. He hasn't made any type of impact yet. For this, I don't. If I was Gable Stevenson, use that final damn year, because guess what? If he's trying to finish his degree and make something of himself, what happens if WWE doesn't work? It worked for Kurt Angle, it worked for Brock Lesnar, but guess what? It doesn't work for everybody. I think they've tried to bring in collegiate and Olympic style competitors before, and it hasn't always worked. They're wanting him to be a combination of the next Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle, but don't rush this, because if they do, it could bite him in the ass. I think it's good on both ends. Let him finish his year, let him get his conditioning up to par, get him into the NXT, bring him into NXT. Don't mess with his name. Just teach him how to wrestle for in the ring, and teach him how to talk, and just take it slow. And if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Angle took it to like a duck to water. Brock was just a beast. He's from another planet. I really don't think this is hurting the WWE, because they got a lot going on at the moment, and he's just another piece to the puzzle when it's time for him to show up.
All right, Alpha, I believe you're next. What do you got for us?
He just did. He said he didn't have too much.
Oh, yeah, he said he didn't have much to say. Okay.
I can add to what Justin said, though.
Go ahead, please.
It does fall down to, if they want to bring him into developmental, that's where we see where he'll take up. Like, who knows? Secretly, maybe he'd be really good on the microphone. Maybe he's just a he can figure out wrestling in 2 seconds and he could be a powerhouse. whatever happens in that developmental period shows us the trajectory. The problem is he's not in developmental yet. We have to base this off of, okay, well, he's got one more year in NCAA. I'm like, okay, well, I hope he does well, like competitively.
Yeah.
But I can't like take off of that. But yeah, no, I think the potential is there. It's just if WWE finally pulls the trigger on that. But Night Owl, did you go at all?
I haven't commented on it, but I want to kind of defer my opportunity to Perry because I think this is a learning moment for all of us. Perry, I've heard in the past, I've heard wiser men than me say sometimes the biggest blessings aren't what God gives you, is what he doesn't give you. How do you think this could work to Gable Stevenson's advantage to not be kind of pushed down the super highway, the WWE super highway? He's kind of taking a step back, which is very humble. Collegiately, I don't think you can make as much money as you can professionally. When you go in the professional wrestling world, they can start paying you mucho dinero. How do you look at this from that perspective?
Well, I think with in his situation, and again, I don't know much about him personally, but if I was him, it's kind of like all of us who believe we either get through the day or he takes us home. Either way, we win. So I think either way, he's going to be okay because the right thing done at the wrong time is wrong. The wrong thing done at the right time is wrong. Only the right thing done at the right time is right.
Love to hear that. And all I'll say is I agree with all of you guys. I think that wasting that last year of eligibility is a mistake. Yeah. He's at the very top of his game in his sport. Wrestling isn't going anywhere, especially after the Endeavor purchase that we never even got a chance to talk about on this show, not extensively. WWE is going to be around for a good long time. Jay Wade?
I got one more thing. He's doing one more year eligibility. The Olympics is in 2024 in Paris, France. Wonder if he's staying in college wrestling so he can compete in the Olympics.
Hey, what's better than a gold medal?
Yeah, I know.
Two gold medals.
Well, I'm just saying.
I agree with you.
Without a broken neck.
Yeah,
without a broken freaking neck.
Maybe he's wanting to compete in the Olympics. So maybe that's why he's staying one more year. Who knows?
I love that.
On a separate subject, did any of you notice Jason Jordan last night on
Raw? Yeah, he's splitting people up now.
I was like, that's interesting that they put him right in the front because we all know he's not security. And you're telling me they couldn't hold back little Finn Balor? Come on.
Well,
that was horseshit.
They're using Jason Jordan like they were using, like he's like, you remember back in the day when I was a kid, they'd send out these guys in shirts and ties to split up fracases. But it came to be known when I got older that these guys were legends back in the day, and they're just agents now. So I think Jason Jordan is an agent right now. So like a backstage agent.
Joey Mercury, they used to send out Pat Patterson. I mean,
back in the day, they sent out Pat Patterson, Gerald Briscoe, Rene Goulet, just all these old school WWF guys that because I'm a nerd, I know about. So, yeah.
Hey, tonight on NXT, man, last night.
Spoiler alert! No, we got to do it. Spoiler alert to anybody who's waiting till after work or something to watch NXT.
They haven't shown it yet. It's only 8 o'clock.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
What I'm going to talk about was that the fact that they had Braun Breaker on Raw last night. About wrestling Seth at NXT.
That's going to be a big fucking match.
And I'll tell you what, their idea, at first I thought, man, poor Apollo Crews, he got demoted. No, when he came back to Raw, he was stronger. So the fact that they're bringing all these WWE talent into NXT, I think is huge, especially for the brand NXT.
Yeah, because we all know that it needs a shot in the arm after they tried that NXT 2.0 stuff. I mean, it was just
that was different. That was awkward.
We got time for one more high spots topic. Big Daddy P will hit the topic, and then we'll let you close this out in prayer. You okay?
Absolutely.
For those who don't know, Perry not only helps us manage some of our social media, was helping us with the website previously, but he's also a resident chaplain. That's why we bring Perry in, because he loves wrestling, he loves the Lord. Those two things are very, very good. We love both of those things. Okay, next topic. Are you guys ready for this?
Boom.
Boys in the back, you know what to do, baby. Go ahead and cue up that randomizer for our final high spots topic of the evening. Next topic. Ooh.
Yes.
Oh, this came up earlier today. Alpha, you want to take this one for us, buddy?
Oh, this is a very loaded question because it's still weird to think that AEW owns Ring of Honor, or at least their library, and now we have 4 shows, and it still seems like the roster is looking for breathing room. The only way I can see them correcting this, how Braun gets a shot at Seth's title. I mean, that's we can talk about that later, Jared. But to stay on topic, I don't know, because I mean, if you get CM Punk in Chicago and you're doing really low numbers than you originally projected, that's really a concerning sign. I mean, I'm not saying like shit can the show immediately, obviously. I mean, you got to make do with what you got to do, obviously. But I think the way to do that going forward is, separating a roster and making sure every show feels independent from one another. And is adding more AEW programming a mistake? Yes and no, because they need this hour time. They just need to do something with it. But also, it's going to make it. Justin actually had commented on this earlier.
He did.
It's harder to keep up with wrestling now because now we got to worry about, it's like Wednesdays and then Fridays and then Sundays or Saturdays. I don't remember which one it is, but it's like that's a lot of wrestling, especially on AEW's have. So I mean, I'm not too sure.
That's 3 WWE shows, including NXT, plus a pay-per-view at least once a month. That's 3 legitimate AEW shows a week, plus anything on the indies you like, plus you got to keep up with New Japan if you want to kind of understand some of the AEW stuff. Plus, we all like to watch old school stuff too. So my question is, how many hours of the day can any of us actually spend watching wrestling? Thank God for social media. As destructive as it can be, it's also great for being able to stay caught up with everything and not necessarily having to watch everything. Thank God for the Wrestle Talk Podcast, because Wrestle Talk Podcast come in, we cover a lot of topics in 2 hours, guys. I mean, we've already been within the high spot segment for an hour, and we've talked about at least 6-8 different things. And so I think it's special. I think it's a good thing. But ultimately, to stay on topic here with the question that was brought to us, I think it's a little unhealthy. Let the first show serve as evidence that CM Punk couldn't sell out the venue in his own hometown. That's almost a guaranteed sellout. That's part of the reason why I went on my rant earlier about CM Punk about the entitlement. I think they just figured we'll bring him back in Chicago and we're automatically going to sell the place out. And there was a lot of pictures that told a different story, guys. A lot of pictures that told a different story. So I hope that not only CM Punk will humble himself, but also AEW will humble themselves and start to put the very – not that they had put on a bad show, but I'm just saying I think they assumed a little much. When this company first started, they weren't assuming anything. When they did that first All In or All Out, whatever that first show was called, I think they modestly thought that they were going to be able to sell that venue out. And they did in only a couple of hours. Now I think they're going into things going, oh, CM Punk in Chicago, easy money. Well, guess what? You picked the wrong night. And Jay Wade said it best. On a Saturday night, you're competing with a lot of different things. And it ain't even football season because they're going to start having football games on Saturday too, boys. It's going to be even more difficult for professional wrestling moving forward. So anyway, those are my thoughts on this AEW Collision thing. I'm going to watch. But I'm curious to see if they can be consistent like Dynamite, because Dynamite's done a pretty good job. Been to a few of them here live in Kansas City. Really enjoy them. But, man, that is a lot of programming. I'll just leave it at that. Who's next?
I'll take it real quick here. So back in the day when I was a kid, you had the WWF and you had WCW. I started watching wrestling in 1993. You had Monday Night Raw on Mondays. On Saturday mornings, you had at 9 o'clock on Channel 11 KPLR in St. Louis, you had Primetime Wrestling. That was an hour. And then at 11 o'clock on USA, you had Superstars of Wrestling. And then at Saturday night, you had WCW Saturday night. And then the next morning, you had All-American Wrestling for WWF in the morning. And at night, you had Sunday night's WCW main event, which was their Sunday show. It was spread out. It didn't feel like it was too much. It didn't feel like it was competing against one another, and it wasn't. Now you got WWE on Mondays. You got NXT on Tuesdays. You got Dynamite on Wednesdays. You got Ring of Honor and Impact on Thursdays, and on Fridays you have Friday Night SmackDown, you have AEW Rampage, and then on Saturdays you got AEW Collision. It feels like it's overlapping one another. There's no breathing room, and that's what worries me. There's no breathing room to just digest what you just watched, and it's a lot to take in. So yeah, it just it feels like I think Collision, they're wanting to give everybody on air time, but it feels like it's just too sandwiched together to really give anybody. And there was as many competitors as there was on WCW Nitro and WWE Monday Night or WWF Monday Night Raw back in the ratings war, and it seemed like there was as much talent on the roster for those two companies as there is now, and it seems like they can't get airtime. I don't know. It just feels like it's too sandwiched now than it was back in the day.
Yeah, no, and I wanted to ask you guys Perry, did you have any thoughts on it at all, by the way, with AEW adding Collision to their lineup? I mean, do you think it's too much programming? I mean, as somebody who's probably got their shows to watch, I mean, do you think that's too much?
If you look at it from an owner's point of view and not a watcher's point of view, when you have a huge roster and people are threatening to leave because they're not getting any airtime, and now you have another avenue to keep them happy, I'm all for it. Is there such thing as too much wrestling? And as of when? I mean, not all of our schedules, not all of us sit there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and watch, but I record them all because I want to go back on my time and watch it. NXT right now, all I care about is Stacks. I'm watching to see what they're going to do with him. And I like
D'Angelo. D'Angelo's my guy.
Yeah, but he's in jail. So now what, right? Yeah. So now Stacks again. He's still young, but so I'm really excited about that.
You like Mello? You like Mello?
Huh? Yeah. I love wrestlers and wrestling. It's kind of like football. I'm a fan of football, not just Rams, not just this, not just that. I like all of it. So I don't think too much. If 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I could I don't know about you guys, but I think in the first 3 months of the WWE network, I watched all the programming. And then there was nothing to watch. So I'm for it. Bring it on. Don't let a day go by that I can't flip to watch wrestling because I love it. As an owner, as an announcer, I've only wrestled once and won.
Hey, he's 1-0. He's undefeated, ladies and gentlemen.
Undefeated.
And I got a brand new back, which is kind of scary because, well, we're not going there.
Gentlemen, all I can say is I'm hosting the Wrestle Talk podcast now 2 to 3 times a month, and I can't remember a time where we could probably carry high spots on through an entire show. We haven't even talked about the bloodline, gentlemen. We are an hour and 22 minutes into this. You know what? So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to make an executive decision. So Big Daddy Dion is scheduled to come on, having some challenges. So instead of pressuring Big Daddy Dion to fulfill his contractual obligation, we're going to show some grace because my big brother, Big Daddy P, told me that's what his big brother told him. So we're going to show some grace and we're going to reschedule Big Daddy Dion. So for those of you who tuned in for that, I apologize. We did everything we could, but we're also going to be respectful of my man Dion. He's got some things to handle. We're going to let him do that. So what excites me the most is we still got 8 topics to continue to talk about. And it's been such a wonderful conversation. We got Alpha out of nowhere. My man came out of left field, bang! And then Big Daddy P still here. So with your guys' permission, I'd like just to continue to keep dropping high spots topics, baby. Since Dion's not going to be able to join us tonight, I'm like, this is a privilege. This is exactly what I want because when you've got this much going on, 2 hours isn't enough, gentlemen. An hour and a half isn't enough because we're going to do a 45-minute interview with Big Daddy Dion, Jay Wade, and we're going to give you that.
I was looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, me too. But here's the beauty. We're not starved for content.
No.
God knows we haven't even talked about the bloodline yet. So, I mean, it's serious out here, gentlemen. It is serious, but we're not going to go any further without doing this. The chaplain is here for a reason. We're chatting about pro wrestling. Big Daddy P, you're welcome to stay as long as you want. As you see, our schedule is just opened up. But let's make sure we take care of what we came here to take care of before it gets too late. So
the real high spot.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I got a high spot tonight, man.
That's right. Big Daddy P is going to take, a minute and a half, however long he needs to hit you guys with some real knowledge, not from his head, not something he pulled off the Google machine, but truth, baby. So we'll give the floor to Big Daddy P, guys, as we close out tonight's edition of the Wrestle Talk Podcast Snippets of Truth segment.
Well, here's a very good high spot for you that I think is important, because I know I'm not the only one who's kind of worried about tomorrow, worried about today, things going on, financial problems. I got car problems. I got all problems but wife problems for the first time in my life. Thank you, Lord. But I just want to encourage you today in Matthew 6. It is so clear from verse 25 to 34. It says, "For this reason, I say to you who's listening, don't be worried about your life as to what you'll eat or what you'll drink, nor for your body as to what you'll put on. Is life not more than food, and the body more than clothing? Look at the birds of the sky, that they don't soar nor reap nor gather crops into barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more important than they?" And the answer is yes. He didn't come and die for the birds. He came and died for us. And which of you, by worrying, can add a single day to his lifespan? The fact that you're breathing, that you can go and then be able to exhale, you don't control. And why are you worried about clothing? Notice how the lilies of the field grow, that they don't labor, nor do they spin thread for cloth. Yet I say to you that not even Solomon in all his glory clothed himself like one of these. But if God so clothes the grass of the field, which is alive today and tomorrow, and it's thrown into the furnace, will he not much more clothe you? You have little faith. Do not worry when saying, what are we to eat, or what are we to drink, or what are we to wear for clothing? For the unbelievers seek all these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need all these things. But seek first his kingdom. Seek first his kingdom, which means the things of him, not the things of this world, and his righteousness, and all these things will be provided to you. Finally, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. And I end that section by saying, if yesterday is history, which it is, and tomorrow is a mystery, which it is, hey, Night Owl, what's today called?
It's the present.
And it's a gift, and we should treat it as such, because someday this world's going to get a lot quieter, because Big Daddy P ain't going to be around and the Night Owl ain't going to be around. So don't think for one moment, Night Owl, because my love for this show started with you. I fell in love with you first, and then I fell in love with everybody else. And now I have.
Have you reached out to Joe recently?
I have. The last time I talked to him was about 2 weeks ago, I think.
I think Joey's feeling judged by us of faith. I think he needs to hear somebody who really can break it down to him.
Yo, Joe.
I think he needs that love, bro. No, just hit him up. What I'm saying is hit him up. I think that's probably the healthiest thing. Fine.
Oh, I got no problem with talking to people, obviously.
Clearly.
but listen, that's our brother, right?
I love Joe so much, bro.
And when our brother is down, we ain't pushing him down further. We're gonna lift him up. We're gonna let the Lord use us, because that we're co-workers, man. Think about that. We're co-workers. We work for the Creator.
You got it, Oos.
I mean, eternally, we're good. So my snippet of truth tonight is don't worry. And listen, I got to say it to myself in the mirror every day. I got no car, man. My wife rides a bike 2 miles. She rode in the rain to get to work today for $10 an hour. She used to make 60 to 100 washing windows. We've lost $2,500 a month of income for the last year and a half. And nothing. I got internet. I got power.
I don't see you crying.
I'm not, huh?
I don't see you crying.
Well, that's because like the camera's on and but no, I've done a lot of crying. Don't worry. I've done a lot of worrying.
Right now, you're moving forward, baby.
No, I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
I can't control. It said in Psalm, it says, what can you straighten what God has bent? You can't. And he loves us. So I know he's doing something. And what I really think it is there are people that know me, that know that if they were going through what we were going through, my wife and I, they would freak out and panic. But they see us and we're smiling. And my wife hasn't changed one bit. I'm the one that kind of is like, oh God, child support. Oh God, electric. Oh God, cable. What are we going to do? You know, it's not the same.
Just real quick, chime in here, Jared. I think you should be getting your Mick Foley Mankind lunchbox here, hopefully before the end of the week. I'm not sure, but it is on its way. He says Jesus has every situation under control. We must keep the faith. He made his way even when we can't see it. So, I mean, listen, and I want to say this, Big Daddy P, because there may be a first-time watcher. Like, if that's not your thing, cool. Like, apply it to what you believe. This is what we believe, and we're not trying to offend or turn off anybody. Like, even if you don't believe in anything, like we believe in the right to believe what we believe. And if anybody wants to share their faith openly, we would always encourage that here on the Wrestle Talk podcast, as long as you're not hurting anybody or doing anything crazy. I would say just there's a certain limit to what we'll allow. But point being, we bring Daddy P on to encourage you, not to lecture you or to tell you how you should live your life. It's a good word, right, that we're supposed to share, right? The Great Commission tells us, man, share the word to every corner of the universe. And it's not a word that we're sharing to you to hurt you or to try to bring you down or to take anything away from you. On the contrary,
but if inside someone's listening to it and it's causing them to consider, to question, to wonder, what happens to me after my time on this earth is done? That's why it's called the good news.
Yep.
The problem is we live in a world where on television, they're saying, hey, you can go to God when you quit this, quit that, quit this, quit. That is not good news. The good news is where you are right now, he's ready. He's always ready. Matter of fact, he brought you into the world for a reason. And part of that reason, if you're listening to this right now, is to have hope. So just have hope.
That's right. That's right, Big Daddy.
Yeah, and that's right. All we got is prayer left, and then we can go back to high spots if you want.
Let's go. Knock it out, baby.
Father God, we thank you so much for your goodness and grace, for all that you continue to do. I thank you for giving me the energy, the wisdom, the patience, and Wrestle Talk to be able to share your love with a lost and dying and unbelieving world. Father, you came not to bring peace, but to deliver a sword, the truth. And that truth gives us the opportunity to trust you. And so I pray for anybody that's watching now who is losing hope. I was there last week, not sure what you were going to do, but you came through because that's who you are. And you're not great because of who we are, but because of who you are. It's your character. It's your promises. And we know that you're faithful. And this is not the only generation you've dealt with. If we read in your word of thousands of generations before us who thought they had all the answers. But in turn, we found out that the only answer is you. And for those, Father, that are listening, that do believe that you died for them, we know that they're sealed until your return. But I pray that you strengthen them at a time like these, because at a time like these, you tell us, blessed are those who believe and do not see, that we would be sharing your sufferings. And I can tell you firsthand, it's not easy to walk that path, to walk in light, because a lot of people want to judge you and a lot of people want to say negative things because they know that truth is truth and you can't change it. But I thank you for this opportunity. I thank you I want to pray for Joe, Father, that you would encourage him, that in times such as these, you would use him as a vessel of grace and allow situations to take place to draw him closer to you, because it's all about faith. It's all about having closeness with you and trusting you at this time. And thank you for Matthew 6 that you let me share with my brothers, that we don't have to worry about all this materialistic junk. It's all temporary, but loving each other and being there for each other, that's the key to success. And I thank you that you've included us, and I love you. And I ask these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen and amen. Gentlemen, I want to thank you, Jay Wade and Alpha, for I know you guys are new compared to us old guys here on the show. Like when we talked about you guys joining as hosts, I think it was well explained that this is something that we did. You guys accepted it. I've never heard a word to the wiser whether you love it or you hate it. But the fact that you guys give us
Wade has Wade. You see it on his face every week.
I love it. It's promoting good faith.
Yeah, and he's not, and Alpha's not in the closet anymore. He's upgraded to outside.
Let me take a moment here, gentlemen. I used to be. Well, I'm not used to be. I was raised Catholic. My mom sent me to 12 years of private schooling, and after I got out of high school, I stopped going to church. I still have a belief, and here's the thing: I respect all religions of the world, because as long as it's promoting good and love, I don't care what you like. Now, when I see hate toward a religion and stuff, it just tears me apart, because guess what? We all need something to keep us uplift us. Yeah. And it's religion. It's not. I'm not trying to be religious here. I'm not trying to promote religion, but I'm trying to promote happiness. And that's maybe the big thing that keeps me on the fence top of religion, is that it promotes good. And I like it when you come on here, Big Daddy, because there's people out there that are listening to this show that they're having hard times and stuff. I have hard times, but you just gotta. I haven't talked to my folks in a while. It's a long story, but my old man always tells me, just pray about it whenever there's something going on. And you might not hear the answer. You might not hear the answer that you're needing, but it's circulating around, and you'll get to it at some point. And that's why I like Big Daddy P comes on. And sorry to cut everybody off, but they were saying in the chat that there's a wrestler from the Midwest named Evangelistico. He needs our prayers right now. He had some surgery. I'm not going to go into it because it's not my business. But when I was coming up in the business, he was one of the talkers, and he still is to this day one of the best talkers in the Midwest. He's a maestro of the mic. And I heard I haven't talked. We really never really talked, but I always respected him on the mic. And I think some prayers need to go his way. So I just want to let you guys know that, Big Daddy. So.
Hey, Renee, can I quickly pray for him right now?
Of course, man.
Father God, we thank you so much for that request. We want to petition you on behalf of Evan that you would continue to heal his body, that you would continue to restore him to the manner in which you see fit. Thank you for all this encouragement and love. And we want to thank you in advance for what you're going to do in Evan's life. We thank you. We love you. And we ask these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
And by the way, prayer is not a formula. It's just a way to communicate to God. And I think one of the biggest challenges with what they call religion, who did Jesus have the biggest problem with? The religious people. Because they kept judging. Christians have a problem with judging. And he specifically says, don't judge, because I'm the judge.
Yep.
So
you're not the judge.
My job is to represent heaven. Okay, that's my job, and it's hard to do that because I screw up constantly. But as the years go by and as I get older, I find myself having to ask forgiveness less, because the more I spend time in His Word and the more I know Him, the more I adjust and conform myself to Him, instead of trying to conform Him to my lifestyle. And that's the problem today with multiple religions and denominations, is that they're trying to conform this relationship into something that fits everybody. And it's not, his will is for everyone to be saved, but he doesn't send anyone to hell. They reject his free gift. And that's their right. He gives us the right to say, I don't want religion. I'm going to do things my way. And he loves us so much that he allows us to do that. But for some of us, he waited 31 years with me. He let me go so far out. And then when he finally got to me, I had no choice but to accept it, simply because it was like he put the pieces. It was like one day he took all these bad things that happened in my life and shared with me why he allowed them to happen, so that when someone else comes to me with that same problem, I can then look in their eyes and say, man, I've been there. I understand. And they believe me. There's nothing more frustrating than when you share with someone something you're going through and they go, yeah, and you know they've never been through it. And they try hard and they're sincere, but you know that they have no idea. So to be able to take my past and even my present and the things that have happened, I've been through more cars than I think a car place. And people, even today, I put a post on, Renee, that said, I'm looking for a car under 115,000 miles for only $5,000. And everyone said, yeah. Well, one guy says, hey, I got one.
That's all it takes.
I haven't talked to him yet. I don't know the end result, but just by those actions alone, our lives, people read us every day. The question is, it's like you got Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Well, we're the fifth gospel. And people read us. The question is, what are they reading? And I want people, when they hear or see me, to see that there's hope, that there is something you can believe in, something that you can't count on, and not the world, because the world doesn't do anything but make my life miserable. I would love to go home. I as much as I love being here on Tuesday nights and I love doing all things the Lord does, I'm ready. I've lived a long life, but I'm only 52. So what if he's got another 40 years left, Renee?
Dang. Well, we're going to be happy to have you. That's all.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll probably be sitting then, but that's cool.
No, you'll still be as animated, even if you're sitting.
No.
A lot of gesticulation.
40 years from now, you'll be in an exoskeleton that's wheeling you up to the screen, and you'll be standing still.
Yeah,
so
microchip.
Yeah, you'll be all robotic. So I'm hoping.
Maybe I'll be like Val Kilmer in Maverick.
There you go.
No, maybe you'll be Val Venus. Hello.
I had Val. Hey, listen. We had Val Venus at Money Mark Productions. He came. We picked him up from the airport. Woo, that was a fun car ride. But anyway, very cool guy. Very cool guy.
I have no doubt.
Totally cool. Loves to party. We had a fun time with him.
Big Daddy P, I guess all I'll say is thank you for always bringing that truth. I know that it doesn't necessarily fit the mold of a wrestling podcast, but if we touch one person, bro, one person is all we need to do. And it's all worth it. All the years of you coming on and us working with each other's schedules and you helping us promote, and the Masked Saint, which neither of these guys even know that story of how we even came together and how we were such a big part of promoting the movie and all that. So hopefully we'll get to that story at some point. But for me, it just ultimately comes down to
you have to add Chris back on. He's had some life-changing situations.
That'll be amazing. And he's a wonderful guy too. I know he's still down in Florida doing his thing. And
he got back in the ring.
Really?
He did, yeah, for a match. Give him a call. Reach out to him.
I would love to do that.
Have him on.
See, people don't know where this came from, Perry. I keep this close to me. It means so much. You have no idea. So this is an actual movie worn mask from the movie that was on Netflix for quite a while.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Roddy Piper's last film.
Yeah, it was Roddy Piper's last film. It's called The Masked Saint. We did a huge kind of cooperative effort when the movie came out to promote them, and it really changed Wrestle Talk for the better in every single way, because we got introduced to Perry, and the story's long, but point being, We love having you, Big Daddy P. We are going to move on to the next High Spots topic. You're more than welcome to hang out.
I will.
No one's rushing you. We got about 15 minutes left in the show. So if you guys are cool with it, we move on and keep, hitting people with stunners and doing all that kind of stuff. Are you guys cool?
I have 10 more minutes.
All right, let's do it, baby. You can hang out as long as you want. We'll close the show right around 9 o'clock Central Time. Boys in the back, you know what to do. Go ahead and hook us up with a little bit of that randomizer because I am ready for the next topic. Hit it, boys.
Never drew a dime. Not a dime. Not a dime.
Who did that? Who did that? Which one of you guys did that to me? I never drew a dime? Really? Really? Okay, I see how it is. All right, next question up. Big Daddy P, can you read that off the screen for us, buddy?
With Logan Paul in the Money in the Bank ladder match, do you think that we will see Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins too?
All right. I don't know. I don't know if the age demographic thing makes a difference here. Do us old guys care about Logan Paul? I like Logan Paul. I like the eyes that he brings to the business, but do we care about him overall? Jay Wade, I don't know. What do you say?
I'm going to say it here. Okay. Back in the day when celebrities were coming to wrestle, they never wrestled in WWE. You had Drew Carey come on. You had all these celebrities pop up at Mania. Logan Paul competing in the WWE. I don't know what he's taken to the business like a duck to water. I don't get it.
The part too. And he looks the part.
And I know he's obnoxious. I can't stand his YouTube persona, but his performance at the Rumble, his performance at Mania against Rollins, I respect that he has some. I respect him because it seems like he's got some respect for the business because he's putting in the effort that I could only dream of having when I was performing back in the mid 2000s, early 2012s. So. What I think sounds crazy, but I'm starting to see rumors that he's going to win the ladder match and he's going to cash in that night and take the belt from Rollins in London. And so that's a big rumor. And that would be their second bout. They'd have their third bout at SummerSlam to complete they have the rubber match. So I would, we'll see what happens. I just seeing him and Ricochet in the ring again, Logan Paul and Ricochet in the ring has just got me really excited because what they did at the Rumble, when they collided, when they jumped from rope to rope, my ankle shattered and my thigh shattered, but it was exciting to see.
That was insanity.
Yeah, because I think unfortunately, I think I weighed their combined weight together. So I'm big boned. Anyways, I hope I'm looking forward to that match. I'm looking forward to Money in the Bank, and I think Logan's going to do some big things before SummerSlam.
Alpha, take that comment for us, would you?
Oh, we got Jared Shannon. He said, I would honestly say Logan winning the Money in the Bank and Logan successfully cashing in and making it a full rematch at a later pay-per-view. I mean, maybe so I guess I'll start on my thoughts. Logan winning the Money in the Bank briefcase would definitely get people's attention. And I mean that in the best way possible because he's off our TV, but he's not off of our he's not off of our radar. We're aware of what he's doing and he has outlets for that kind of stuff. So I think that'd be a good publicity thing. Genuinely. I think him rolling around on his podcast or in his vlogs or whatever, and he's just carrying the briefcase along with him. That'd be a really good way to drum up business. Whether or not him winning, that's actually, no, I'm going to go with what Jared said. I think that'd be the way to do it because this is a new belt. So you might as well throw the cocky heel history. And trust me when I say, I think people would pay money to have heel Logan Paul walking around with that stupid belt taunting Rollins out of the gate. I think that would definitely be something that we could play around with in wrestling just because, Justin said it best that he's taken like a duck to water and people love to hate. They already loved to hate him before he came WWE. If Logan Paul showed up, won Money in the Bank, and won the title off of Seth Rollins, nuclear level heat. I do not care what anybody says. People hate this dude naturally, so him doing something as despicable and shit heel like that would be the most like, mwah, that'd be the cherry on top of the sundae. That is him owning the fans that are like, oh my God, this loser came in and won the belt. It's like, yeah, this loser with a 6-pack won the match and took the briefcase. I don't know. That's how I feel about it. But.
Wow. Okay. Big Daddy P, thoughts on this? Did anybody else want to jump back in? Because I do have some thoughts.
I just love the fact that Logan Paul pisses off so many people because he's coming like, watch this, bloop, done. And he does it, and he makes it look easy. I want to see his brother come in, personally. I think they could come.
That boy can scrap.
Because his what is his finish? That punch, right? His brother is a boxer. So I don't know why they can't get him in there also and just completely take over.
Annihilate.
Take the belts from. I am so sick of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I'm so glad they didn't give him the belt.
Oh,
I'm sorry. It's so annoying. It's so predictable. That's just my opinion. I know what they're going to say before they say it. The draft was good, but they didn't do enough shakeup. But Logan's great. He's a great addition, and there's more people coming. I mean, there's more people that haven't really even done. When's Bray Wyatt ever going to get started again?
Oh my God!
Oh, geez, Louise.
That's another story. That's a high spot question. That could be a whole show.
That could be a whole
show. We did that 2 weeks ago. The Bray Wyatt conversation we did.
I mean, Baron Corbin gets more TV time than almost any wrestler in the business right now.
He's not even. Baron Corbin just gave up. He's wrestling. It looked like a tank top and gym shorts last week. I don't. Poor Baron Corbin. He fell so far from grace. They put him with JBL, thinking that he was going to be like the next, like I guess, $1 Million Man type of wrestler, and no one gave a shit. You could even see JBL not giving a shit, and he's like, I gotta distance myself from this guy, and hopefully, he's getting a resurgence in NXT, but. Poor Baron Corbin. He's and Bray Wyatt. What the hell happened? When he came back at the end of a Saudi Arabia pay-per-view, I believe last summer or last year, it was so exciting, and they dropped the ball on him. And I don't know if they got too many chefs in the kitchen or what, but they have so much talent and they don't know what the hell to do with it. It's just crazy. And here's all of us ranting about it. And if we were given a pen and paper, we'd be shaking in our boots to what to do creativity wise.
I love Sonny's comment there about the lone wolf being the peak of Baron Corbin. I will disagree with that only by saying that Broke Baron was my favorite.
That was genuinely funny TV.
That was
probably WWE succeeding at making us laugh. Like actually
hilarious. All right, guys, we got 8 minutes left, and we're gonna keep talking wrestling. That's hashtag Let's Talk Wrestling on all social media platforms. And I guess I hadn't done this here recently, so it's only appropriate to do this as well. I just want to take a moment to thank all of our wonderful sponsors, starting with Royal Mills Transportation. Also, Rathbun Engraving. You guys have seen me drink out of this mug all night. Shout out to my boy Scott, $20.
I got mine right there.
Yeah, is it up there? Okay.
Yeah, guys, I see it. It's on top of your count.
It is on the back right there. Beautiful. Yeah. Nobleman's Barber Lounge. My son gets the dopest fades. Casey Moe right on State Line Road. Obviously, I-70 Sports Media. Shout out to Jeremy Karp doing big things over there with Pro Wrestling Epic.
He is.
He's all over the place. The world's premier fantasy wrestling promotion, FWWC. You guys heard from Dewan a little bit earlier. Little Popeye Designs, the new tumbler, which if you guys don't have this yet, please holla at your boy. These things are absolutely beautiful. They come with a straw. They come with a cleaning thing. They're just absolutely they're comparable with a Yeti. I'll say that much.
Hey, Night Owl. I like that tumbler, but I'm a big cup drinker. Is there any larger size? Or is that the only size?
Yes, we can accommodate a larger size. Let's just talk after the show or maybe tomorrow, and we'll get that worked out for you, buddy.
Yeah, because I don't think I have any cup that's under 40 ounces at home. So,
do you know what would happen if I replaced this cup?
Bad juju.
You'd have a new cup?
No, this is my coffee cup. And I just saw your cup. I was like, ooh, but then I'm like, wait a second.
No.
Can't do it.
Hey, family's number one.
You can always double fist coffee.
But I use these water.
We can do one of those too.
If you got one, I'll take one of these.
I can do one of those. Yeah, we can do special orders, guys. It might only be.
And hey, listen, if you ask
Night Owl's the real one with the hookups.
during your prayers, Night Owl, during your prayers you ask the Lord to continue to bless my business bigger and higher, I'll sponsor the website as long as he provides the money for me to do it. You know what I mean?
And we want to keep the website going, but obviously we're in a certain reality right now. So me and Perry will talk offline and figure out how we can make that happen.
It's God's business. He knows.
Yeah, absolutely.
Either way, we're good. You know that.
We are good. And this partnership has been, I mean, you guys heard me talk about the Masked Saint earlier, to Perry coming on and sharing all that positive news with us earlier. Like I said, man, I just can't get enough of it. And guess what? With the 6 minutes we got left, we're going to take on one more topic, because the members of the Wrestle Talk family don't give up on us, and neither do the host, damn it. So let's go ahead and hit up that randomizer and move on to the next topic. Are you gentlemen ready?
We're ride or die. Let's do it.
Let's go ahead and hit, baby, and let's see what the next topic is. Yeah.
Speaking of, I love LA Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo, here we go. All right, gentlemen, next topic. As we near the middle of the year, who do you think have been the MVPs of WWE and AEW? And with your guys' permission, I'd actually like to go first. I will start off with the WWE. I believe that for the first half of this year, Perry, please don't hate me. The last 6 months was the heart of the Bloodline story. And the guy that made that whole ship sail was the guy that is currently one half of the undisputed WWE World Tag Team Champions, and that is Sami freaking Zayn. He has been the linchpin to the breakup of the Bloodline. He was the linchpin to everybody's emotional gravitation towards the Bloodline. I mean, we're talking about in January, Sami Zayn was it. The pops he were getting were bigger than Roman Reigns at the time, as he was leading up to the betrayal of the Bloodline. So for the WWE, there's no question in my mind that a babyface was their MVP from January to probably May or so. I know we're a little bit past that, and it's hard to see it because he's annoying you right now, Big Daddy P. But there's no question in my mind that, Sami Zayn was the linchpin of one of the greatest stories ever told in WWE history. That was only just a couple of months ago where it hit its epicenter. So I'm going to give it to him. And then from AEW, this is a little bit more of a challenging one for me, but I would say that the strides that we've seen MJF take over the last 6 months leading into becoming a champion and then becoming champion make him one of the top 3 wrestlers in the world today, the top superstar in AEW today. So for AEW, there's no question in my mind that their world champion is the MVP for that company, as it should be, because your best player should be your MVP every single year. I think MJF is that guy, and I challenge any one of you guys to dispute that fact. Who's next?
Well, let me go here because I can dispute it because Sammy has writers, and without his writers, he would have Jack.
Oh, come on, bro. We're keeping a kayfabe on this topic, okay? We're keeping a kayfabe here.
The MVP for WWE are the writers of WWE, because they're the ones who can either destroy or make this work. And all of us have been cutting down WWE for the last 3 to 5 years. And of course, I also want to put Vince McMahon in there too as an MVP, because without him, we wouldn't have any of this. AEW, that's kind of a tough one because I know who I can't stand, which is Orange Cassidy. And I absolutely love and miss. Shoot, now her name just passed me because she got most of my attention. Red Velvet. Was that her name? Red Velvet?
Bro, we're not talking about your preference in snacks. We're talking about the
MVP. No. This year,
I know you're talking about Jade Cargill.
No. She was with Jade Cargill.
It's Red Velvet. I just googled
Red Velvet. I thought
Red
she
Velvet.
was going to be. Honestly, I thought she was going to be the MVP. I did, but it's not. But we're still, the year's not up, and I don't even know if she's gone or not. But
MVP. I mean, Big Daddy P. We're talking about MVP, and you bring up Red Velvet.
Yes, absolutely.
What are you talking about?
Yes.
Are you out of your mind? I'm sorry. I don't mean to hate.
She can sell anything. She can sell anything. She just hasn't been given the opportunity.
I love you cheering for the underdog, but this is not that conversation.
It's not. It's not. It's not.
Jared,
Moxley.
you gotta pick one, Jared. Come on, bro. Come on. Jared's picking everyone on every roster. All right, who's next?
Go ahead, Alpha. I'm gonna go last.
Alrighty. Well, the thing is that Night Owl was worried about upsetting Big Daddy P with his WWE choice.
It worked.
I'm gonna take the opposite approach and upset him with my AEW choice because Hustle respects Hustle, and Orange Cassidy has been holding that mid-card title for 20 defenses now. I love it. I'm living for it. When he loses it, it's going to be a sad day. But when you talk about valued players, somebody who shows up and does as many defenses as he does, as effectively as he does, he's that champion for as long for a reason. I stand by that. I'm sorry. Orange Cassidy is it because he's freshly squeezed. That's it. That's all that she wrote.
I love the diversity of picks here. This is great.
And every time he comes on television, what do people do? They change the channel. The ratings
they
show
go like
it.
this, bro. They go like this.
The ratings show it. It's so frustrating.
I'm sorry.
He makes it. We already know it's predetermined. Let's not brag about it.
Oh, come on.
I feel like Perry's like, get off my lawn with that bullshit right now.
I'm telling you, this is the one thing Cornette and I agree on.
Pockets.
It's the only thing Cornette and I agree on, the atheist, but that's okay.
Jay Wade?
I agree with him on some things too. Trust me, we could still have this discussion.
Of course.
I feel like go ahead,
right.
Alpha. Sorry.
So for my pick, I'm going to agree with the Night Owl here for AEW's MVP. MJF in the last year has been putting on some phenomenal bouts. He had his title bouts with CM Punk before CM Punk left. He had that chain collar match with CM Punk. Then he won the belt, and when he defeated Moxley, he had
Iron Man.
Yeah, he had the Iron Man match with Bryan Danielson, and then he had the Fatal 4-Way with Jungle Boy, Darby Allin, and Sammy Guevara. And he's also he doesn't have to be in the main event. He does, he was the match before the Blackpool Combat Club against the Elite, and then he was he does the press conference saying, I don't need to be in the main event because I don't want to be wrestling around in John Moxley's leftover blood. And so he just right there alone, he's killing it in the press conferences. He's making you remember him. He's putting on matches. He had a half-hour Iron Man match against Adam Cole last week. He's leaving his buckets of blood in the ring, weekly, and he's trying his best to carry in this company. And it's hard because of how the ratings are going. It's not his fault by any means. I don't believe it's his fault for the ratings not picking up. And I believe he's gonna. I believe he's going to have some epic title defenses before he drops the belt because Sonny Money go to hell. Anyway,
that's a good one, Sonny.
I believe he's got some epic title defenses before he drops the belt. Supposedly, it's going to be him against Punk in London at the. All in because of Punk going around saying he's got the heavyweight title, while MJF has has his version of the title. So I think they're going to do how they did John Cena and CM Punk back in 2011. They're rehashing that storyline with Punk and MJF. Now, when it comes to the MVP of the WWE, it's going to be completely different than all your boys. What you said, he's been killing it.
Say mine.
Well, that's your problem, Alpha. You should have said it. And he's been killing it ever since he came to the main roster in the last year. Gunther is my MVP for WWE.
Gunther, say it
He
right,
did,
man.
I can't say a goddamn name right. Yeah, I can.
It's actually Walter Night
You
Owl.
know what? This is what you get.
Yeah, thanks. Go to hell. If I can't even speak, Gunther, whatever the hell you want to call him.
Gunther.
Thank you. Gunther Walter, which I think is his name. He did it 1 hour in the Rumble. He defeated 2 ex-heavyweight champions at Mania in a triple threat match. And just recently, he tore the house down at Night of Champions with. He's got long hair. He's in NXT right now. He was the referee for tonight's North American title match. Ali, yeah. He tore the house down with Ali at Night of Champions. So
Ali gave him a chop that was red on Gunther's chest for over, I don't know, like 35 minutes. I mean, to see that chop from little Ali, I was like, damn!
Beaches. Sonny Money.
Never drew a dime. Not a dime. Not a dime.
When you're dropping that drop, are they talking about Jeff Jarrett? Because that sounds pretty believable.
No, that's Mike. Well, I think they're talking about Jeff Jarrett on that.
Every time someone said he threw that guitar shot, no one gave.
He said he thought he was a main eventer. Guy never drew it out. Yeah, I was like, yo, where did this come from? There's another one in here that I had. Let's
promotional consideration paid for by the following.
All right, we got a couple of new drops in here, just showing them off.
Very, very impressive.
There you go. So we'll bring those out next week in unison with the show, not just randomly.
No.
Guys, time is actually coming to a close here. And I think go ahead, Justin.
No, we filled the whole time. So
bravo. Mike Graham. That's right. Well, that's somebody else, by the way. Barry Horowitz. But yes, it was indeed Mike Graham. Thank you, Sonny, for putting me onto that. Super hilarious. And then a quick message here from Jared. Before I go, I just want to say I think it's about time where the resident heel should be a guest on the Wrestle Talk podcast. Skywalker, I know you're watching, bro. Reach out to my boy Jared. He got hooked up with the lunchbox. That should be to him shortly. I think if he's got a good story to tell, we should bring him on. I don't see why not. Are you guys down with that? Jared's been a great contributor here recently, so let's go ahead and have him on. The last thing I want to say is that Big Daddy P, you went above and beyond today. I'm glad that you got past the medical and you're working through some of the financial issues. Just know that your time is truly, truly appreciated here. I think you make a difference every single time that you've shown up. I encourage you, like I told you before, man, to reach out to Joe. But if you're available, we'd love to have you on next week and the week after that and the week after that, because no matter what, you are an integral part of the Wrestle Talk podcast family. Can we get a round of applause, gentlemen, for Big Daddy P? Big Daddy P, final thoughts?
I'm just thankful. This year has gone by so fast already. It's like I think I finally got caught up with Christmas, I think like 2 months ago, and it just seems like now we're already in June, about to hit July 4th. It's like, and I'm supposed to be making a trip to Chicago in August. So I'm thinking that if I have the ability to get to KC, that might be my only chance.
Well, when you show up here, first coffee, beer is on me, and also your first meal.
Hey,
please come see me.
I've been wanting to do that for years, but I've got a wedding that a friend of mine, his son is getting married, who I've known since he was a baby, and he asked if I would do it. So we're surprising his dad. They're not going to know until rehearsal dinner when I just walk in. They're going to freak the hell out that I'm doing the wedding.
Well,
but love you guys.
You got a resident chaplain. Why not take advantage, baby? I'd be honored. That'd be amazing.
Well, plus I promised it 4 years ago.
Man of his word.
And it still hasn't happened, but it's going to happen.
Big Daddy P, next week, 8 o'clock Central Time.
Yep.
We'll see you here, my dog.
Love you guys.
Take care.
Have fun.
Take it easy, balls. Guys, what can I say? Alpha wasn't supposed to be here. Big Daddy P wasn't supposed to be here for that long. By the way, I just want to say, Dion, Big Daddy Dion, I know that life can throw curveballs. So just know the Wrestle Talk podcast, the door is wide open. Let's go ahead and get things worked out and have you on. I know there was at least a dozen people that reached out and told me that they were excited that the fact that you were coming on. Obviously, all of us did our homework. We've done our research. We've seen your work. And even if it's delayed by a week or 3, I think it's going to be an awesome conversation. And we would love to hear your story and your journey in professional wrestling, though you're just getting started. Because here on the Wrestle Talk podcast, we've talked to Akira, we talked to Damian Priest, we've talked to Savio Vega, we talked to $1 Million Man, and honestly, I could probably do a whole 2 hours going down that list. Our door is wide open to any single individual that has a passion for this sport that wants to come on and just have a conversation with a couple of other freaking marks. Do you guys take offense to that word? Are you offended when someone calls you a mark, bro? To me, it's a badge of honor. Always has been, always will be.
I know I've accomplished my job of making people mad if they call me a mark. So for me, that's a badge of suck it.
What about you, Jay Wade?
You know, I don't know. I think it's everybody's a mark if you like something to an extent, and that's, you might not like wrestling, but you might love Star Wars or something, you're a mark for Star Wars, I guess, it just
mark
depends.
For Yellowstone right here.
Yeah.
This guy.
I've never watched the show, but I hear good things about it. I just watched the second season of Righteous Gemstones. I'm a fan of that Danny McBride. He puts on some good stuff on HBO. So I binge watched the second season yesterday.
So, for sure.
Yeah. But I don't care. You call I've been called a mark before. I don't give a damn. I don't take offense. I don't have a chip on my shoulder. Only time
it only hurts if you let it.
Yeah. So, let me tell you something, you son of a bitch, Sonny.
I was dying earlier when Justin was corpsing. There's just a little zoom in on his face.
Shots fired!
What's his face from what's his name? He rants a lot on the Howard Stern show. He used to be an actor. He was in the movie Copland. He's a big basketball fan. He's always, I need to pull him up. But anytime I hear, let's see, hold on a second. Give me a second here. You guys talk.
That would imply I've seen the movie Copland more than once.
Okay.
No, it's okay. Look it up, Jay Wade. We just need to hit the sponsors one more time. Since you decided to pull that WWE in the tank on the WCW show Alpha, we're going to put you on the spot, sir. Why don't you go ahead and take us away with the last sponsorship spot?
All right, we got the Wrestle Talk podcast sponsors. Royal Mills Transportation, head by CEO Dewan Mills. We got Rathbun Engraving. That's where you can get your Wrestle Talk podcast mugs. Just $20. We got Nobleman's Barber Lounge in Kansas City, Missouri. Kincaid Arcade at Oak Park Mall. Interstate 70 Sports Media. Little Popeye Designs. It's where you can get that Wrestle Talk podcast tumbler. And, of course, the FWWC, the world's premier fantasy wrestling group.
Well done, sir. Jay Wade, what do you got for
us? I figured it out. Sonny is a poor man's Michael Rappaport. So that's all I got.
Oh, my God.
Okay? Because if you watch Michael Rappaport and you see Sonny and you hear the two, you're like, son of a bitch, is he stealing Michael's shtick? I'm like, come on. Okay? And let me tell you this as well. This is going to be a rant right here. The motherfuckers that are posting this stuff on the screen in the background, they know I'm going to see them in a handful of weeks, I think. And we're going to have a talk about what you post on screen when I'm on air, okay? Because you should all be ashamed of yourselves for making fun of the legendary and historical movie of Ghostbusters from 1984. You can give me shit all you want about the 2016 one. I never saw that one. I don't give two shits about that one. It's not because of its all-female cast. It's because it was wrote shittily. Okay, that's a word, shittily. Put that on your books.
It is now.
All right.
Wow. Jay Wade, I don't know if that rant meter's readily available to us right now. Jeez Louise, bro. I think that's a 3 on the Richter scale. Okay.
And for those posting those Sonny money, he's a funny guy. There's going to be an ass kicking meter in a couple weeks when I see the people that are posting.
Hey, the interns, bro, they're out of control. Somebody needs to get a handle on them. so
fucking bullshit.
Fucking bullshit. So here we go. We got one last clip that we're going to show here. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed some of the overlays and the pictures that we've shown you guys.
Hey, it's Sonny. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. That's Michael.
We're going to go ahead and hit the play button right now.
What's up? I found it. I didn't expect you to answer, but this is a fine place here. What are you, one of those entertainer guys, huh? You play sports? What team you play for?
I play for the Cucamonga Cracker Killers. You won't take it?
Hey, don't want any trouble with you. You don't have to send your posse out here to do 187 in my ass. Just got a little.
That's Sonny. That's fucking Sonny right there.
I've never met the guy, but if he sounds like that, I'm sure he's a riot.
No, I love the man. He just likes to push my buttons on a certain movie.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 439 of
Hey, that's fucking fun.
Podcast. That's Jay Wade, one of the baddest trash talkers on the West Side, hailing from St. Louis, and my man from the FLA, baby, representing the South. Representing that like new era wrestling fan that knows his shit and respects the game and loves to talk with the OGs and isn't intimidated talking wrestling with a couple of guys that have been fans since probably the 80s. So Alpha, my hat goes off to you guys. Bless, final thoughts. Let's get out of here.
I love you guys. This was fun. I love doing this show with you guys. I know it's our times are sometimes constrained, but every time I get a chance to say it, back in the day when I was in high school, they used to have a show called The Stranglehold on a local AM radio in St. Louis every Tuesday night for 2 hours. They would talk off. His name was Brian Stahl. He still does a lot of stuff in the St. Louis baseball Cardinals and stuff, and he does stuff in the sports scene for the XFL in St. Louis too. But he was, to this day, I could close my eyes and just hear his voice. And the Stranglehold, the Ted Nugent song, that was his intro, the Stranglehold to the show, and it just makes me feel like we're kind of, even though we're not doing that show, Sonny, if I ever meet you, I'm going to throw you through a wall. And don't you think? And if you talk to Luke, he'll tell you I could probably do that. And but no,
making me blush.
No, Sonny, he means well. He's we're all having a good time here, and I lost my train of thought. Thanks, you son of a bitch, got me again. I love you guys. I have fun doing this show. It's good for all of us. It's hopefully we get more and more listeners as we go, as we're on the road to 500. And I'm just I appreciate you guys letting me be here, and because I don't have a lot of friends here in Seattle. It's been kind of I don't know. It seems like it's harder as you get older making friends, and I don't know a lot of people here. So doing this makes me feel like I get to hang out with friends once a week, and I appreciate you guys accepting me.
Wrestle Talk family, that's what it's supposed to feel like. Yep.
But it doesn't feel much like family when Sonny's giving me so much shit, you Michael Rappaport.
Come on, bro. You think you're the best trash talker? You're probably used to walking into a room and being the best shit talker, aren't you? And then you met you
me?
Are.
No.
You're good at it. You like to talk some trash, but bro, you met me and Sonny, and now you got a real problem on your hands.
Listen, Night Owl, when I'm not doing this show, you talk to Luke. I'm very, very quiet. I don't like to talk much. I don't like. I don't trust a lot of people.
Well, I'm glad we don't know that side. I like the guy you bring here.
Yeah,
you're a bad motherfucker, bro.
I like seeing you guys laugh. And what I'm saying is all joke. I'm not a violent person.
That's what I mean. And
now, Alpha, sometimes I just want to take this and just ram it down your throat just by looking at you. But it's just
because all that Harry's got making me mad over here.
Well, no, right now it looks like he's waiting. He's waiting outside someone's window right now, and it looks like we should be calling the cops. He looks like
I feel like I needed.
So
I just hang out with Michael Myers. We meet here on Wednesdays.
No, I love you guys, and hopefully at some point we can get Sonny on here to do another show with us once he gets his schedule worked out. We all We all have lives and stuff.
Unfortunately, he's not as funny in person. If he,
he is. Whenever he's on the show, when he gets going,
he needs time to think this shit up. He's not as witty in person, unfortunately.
Well, not a lot of us are. My wife, every time when I'm around my wife, she says I try my 5-minute open mics around her all the time, and it needs work. So,
same, bro.
Yeah, but no, hey, all kidding aside, you guys are awesome. I just appreciate that we can continue our love for pro wrestling on this show.
That's right. All right, Jay Wade, Alpha.
I mean, it's to ditto that, but I'm just glad we got another episode in the record books.
Yeah.
More so than this episode, I am very excited for next episode. I cannot wait because we got a lot of shows coming out this week, and wrestling's always going to keep making wrestling, and Wrestle Talk Podcast, we got to keep making Wrestle Talk Podcast. Sunrise, sunset, and I love doing this stuff with you guys. It's always fun to be a part of here. Makes you feel less alone when you meet other guys who like wrestling to this degree.
And girls, because my daughter was on here earlier. His wife watches. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, all I can say is I love having Alpha as the Freebird rule with Alpha. I think he fits in with any duo. I think you could also host the show by yourself if you needed to. You're just that talented of a guy. But I love it. So anytime that it's me and Jay Wade or me and Road Dogg or me and whoever, dude, I would love to have you. You're listen, it's not a third wheel if it's a trike, right?
No.
If it's a trike, it's essential. So like whenever you want to jump in or if we can schedule something together, it's always a pleasure of mine. I know you said in the beginning that you were going through some stuff, bro. So I just know I'll have you in my prayers. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I have to.
I feel like that's a good exclamation point.
That's it. We're done, guys. Good night.
We just close on Justin's face.
And the Alpha. Good night, guys. 4:40 next week. We'll see you.